Available at Christian bookstores and online. Purchase it today.
Take time out to focus on you. Don't take on any tasks that don't belong to you. It's a perfect day to make a change. Gotta put the brakes on anything that get in your way. No time to second guess. You gotta put your trust in God and walk by faith. It's time to change your you want and apply. Go far beyond than just try. Goodbye to yesterday. Today is the day to claim your destiny. Just clap your hands if you understand. Just clap your hands if you understand.
Welcome. Come on in the room. It's me, Wanda D, the Motivational Queen, your accountability coach, helping you get it done. Now, I didn't know my mic was on, so I was back here just clapping my fingers, and I got a message like, Queen, we hear you clapping your fingers. But I hope y'all was clapping y'all fingers too. That music just do something for me. You know, that song was written and produced by our co-author, Felicia Gardner, aka Be the Light. I call her Songbird. So she wrote that song especially for our book, Wake Up Winning No Matter What, because losing is not an option, Volume 2. And if y'all heard me clapping my fingers, then that's good. I hope y'all was clapping your fingers with me. I was over here just jamming. That song just, it just moved me the right way. This is the what day is this? The 5th day of our virtual book fair. Can you say hello and thank you? I am so glad to be coming up on the last day. That's all I got to say. This has been quite an experience. Lots of authors have come through. they have shared their stories, not only their books, but their own personal testimonials. And, you get a sense of who you're reading, the person behind the words. You really had the opportunity to get to know them better. And I tell you, we were crying. Some days we were crying, we were laughing, we were doing everything. I wanted to run around the building. It has just been remarkable. So for any of you that have been here since day one, I would like for you to put A1 Day One in the comments. And let's give a shout out to Grady Baby Radio. We're featured live on Grady Baby Radio as well as Twitch TV. We're also over there on YouTube. And if you're on our YouTube channel, please hit the button, subscribe, and ring that bell. The bell like this. Yes, like that. That's how the bell goes. So then when we go live, you'll hear from us. And we're also on Wake Up Winning for Entrepreneurs. That's our Facebook support page. So if you're an entrepreneur and you need some support, come hang out with us. Plus, bring your talents and your gifts and your skills, because we always look to collaborate. We're also in the Winning Evening News, as well as the I Am Enough talk show page. So for all of that we're broadcasting on, I just want to say thank you for taking your time out to come in. I would like for you to put down where you're tuning in from. Put your name down in the comment. You have to give StreamYard permission to show your name. So you do that. And I'm asking my authors as they come through that they pay attention to the comments. I know it's a lot of pages and you're not going to catch them all, but pay attention to the comments and respond back to the people, because sometimes they ask questions, but unfortunately, because we're going to be moving in rapid fire, I won't be able to address those questions. And this is why I have the authors information below, so you can connect with them. Write down their websites and go take a look at it. Follow them on IG or Facebook, whatever website they provide you. And also, don't be afraid. Send them an email. Say, hey, I saw you on the show and I'm interested in about what you're doing, because they're not just authors. They're not just people sitting around writing books. We're talking about some of these people are high level executives. Some of them have multiple businesses. They're they do a plethora of stuff. It's just a lot of things that you can connect with them on and get to know them better. So I just want to take the time out again to say thank you. I'm asking that you share this information throughout your social media platforms. We're trying to crush the internet, okay, with all of this positivity. It's enough bad stuff going on in the world, so you have to be very, very deliberate about making a positive impact. And that's what the I Am Enough talk show is all about. The I Am Enough talk show is local in the Atlanta market. We were voted #1 talk show last year under the ATL hottest category. And also we held another great award we were given for most inspirational talk show. So I don't say that to brag. I just say that to let you know who I am. I'm a person that likes to help other people win. I'm a person that likes to spread good thoughts and good words. And I believe that your dreams matter. And that's our tagline here on the I Am Enough talk show. So again, I say welcome. If you come through just for a minute, just put your name down in there and say, hey, what up though? Yeah, I'm from the Detroit, that is. But I'm living right here in Atlanta. And for our audience, I'm going to come back and talk to you later, probably on Sunday, because I want to know what impact this has had on you. And also for our authors that have hung out with us since Monday, some of them have hung out with us every day. I want to get you back in the hot seat so you can share what your experience has been as you've listened to these authors. That's what we're going to do. And because that's my business. Okay. That's all I got to say about that. I'm sipping tea, y'all, because I'm giving it to y'all, so bear with me. If you see my boss lady cup come up, just be okay with it, all right? I'm telling you, I'm giving you all my disclaimers before. One of our sponsors is 1044 Pro. That is the most yummiest bar that you'll ever taste. It gives you energy. It builds your immune system up. It also helps you with collagen it provides collagen for anti-aging. And it's a good recovery bar. So if you're a person that likes to work out, try the 1044 Pro bar. And I'm actually offering you the opportunity to taste the bar for free. All you have to do is just say, hey, I want to taste the bar. That's one of our sponsors. And as I mentioned before, Grady Baby Radio is also a sponsor. So say what up though to Grady Baby Radio. So they're everywhere. So without further ado, I played a few of our authors that have come before you. I think one is coming on today. She hasn't come on yet, but they've sent in clips. And as you're in the space of being an author, I believe in a lot, as much branding as you can provide. I love it. So if you have videos that you would like to for us to play, all you have to do is just send them in. And I'm saying that now because I know we have authors watching that are have not made it to the stage yet. So what we're doing is you can use the private chat for any information that you want to for us to see. And if it's possible, then we'll bring that up as we go on. But without further ado, I'm going to bring up our first king that's in the building. Drum roll, please. Okay, was that too much? That was too much. All right, well, you get the gist of it. Hey, King, what's going on?
Hello, how's it going?
I am fabulous. I'm floating on fuels, or I should say fumes. I'm on fumes, right? Because I'm so geeked up at night. I can't sleep past my 3 hours, but I'm exhausted, and it's just adrenaline at an all-time high. And if I could have predicted what this experience would have been like, I would have not came close to what it is. This has been amazing.
Yes, I appreciate you providing this platform. It's an amazing experience. I love the fact that you're just bringing authors on and giving us a voice and a platform to be able to share our stories. So thank you so much, Queen. This is like we're
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Deontay, guess what?
what?
You were the first one to jump on this project.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, I
How
saw
about
it.
that? You want a bell? You want a bell, right?
Yeah,
You want,
yeah.
there you go. You got a bell.
So special now.
You were the first one, and that kind of stands out to me because for the first 5 people, it's like these are the first 5, and it just grew so rapidly to where we were overwhelmed with the response. I didn't know that the response was going to be like that. When Spirit spoke to me and said, do this, I just act. I don't try to figure out all how and what for, or none of that. I get a message and I immediately act on it. And I immediately put the post out. I think I dropped it in a group saying, hey, we're doing a book fair. Would you like to be a part of it? And your email came through, number one email. You're number one on the list. So you gotta let them know what the number one guy looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna move out of your way so you can introduce yourself, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk about purpose pains.
Absolutely. Well, hello, everyone. I'm honored to be here. I'm in a talk show virtual book fair. I am Deontay Bolden. I call myself an inspirational creative because I do so many different things. I am an author. I am a writer. I am a producer. I'm a director. I am a creator and a founder of my own production company here in Atlanta called Deontay Bolden Productions, where we provide ministry through the arts. I am Christian. I create Christian content, but not just Christian content, but content that everyone around the world can, be a part of and see. And I believe in reaching people on multiple levels, platforms, and different walks of life. I just wrapped up my first short film called "Then I'm In." March of this year, which is a film that deals with the issue of colorism in our community. So I'm super excited about that. That's going to be releasing. I'm working on a stage production. We're bringing stage production back after COVID called Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places. So I'm super, super excited about that. October of this year, we sold out 2 shows in 2019. And I just do many different things. I'm starting my own award show here in Atlanta, Georgia, called the Bolden Awards, which is an inspirational creative award show. We're bringing creatives together to motivate and inspire each other on our journeys. And I'm an author of two publications, Purpose Things, which I'll be talking to you guys about today. Recently won an award for that at the ninth annual Peach Theater Awards in Los Angeles by Bashonda DeBoe. And I just released my second book a couple of weeks ago called Differently Able, which is an inspirational book for children with disabilities. I have a book signing tomorrow for that. Me and Wanda was just talking about that. So I do different things. You'll see me all over the place doing things. I just believe that God gives us a vision, and when He gives us a vision, we need to go forth and do it. I want to inspire people. There's so much negativity. We just came over COVID, the pandemic, and we just need some light in the midst of all of this darkness. And I want to be one of those people who brings light in first. So
And
I'm
you
sorry.
are. No,
I was long-winded, wasn't
no, you
I?
weren't long-winded at all. I was just playing double dutch because you're hitting so many hot buttons.
Yeah,
And and I love it because you're right. You're right. During this time, we're gathering again, and and people are still, like leery or whatever, whatever. It's okay, because when fear is embedded, it's hard to reverse that. But you're doing some great positive work, and and we just have to keep going with our work. And congratulations on everything, this
thank
upcoming awards show. I'm excited. I need to be on the program, like handing out awards or something, greeting the
you.
people at the door, just sitting up there smiling. I don't know.
Yes, we're starting. It's going to be October 22nd of 2022. We're starting now, and I just want to bring something different that people come together and be inspired. So we announced the award categories. You guys can go on my website to find more about the both.
Absolutely. So how did you first of all, where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Washington, D.C. I was born in Washington, D.C. I lived in Los Angeles for a little bit after high school, and then wanted to launch my production company, so I moved to Atlanta. I was planning to move back to L.A., but right now I'm just here because I feel like I have to be here. So I've been all over, but I'm originally from Washington.
From Washington. Were you, when you were in Washington, were you also in ministry? Were you also in the arts in Washington as well?
Yeah, I've always been like the actor. I started out as an actor, and then I moved to Los Angeles. I was in the DMV area, so
Okay.
I was in Virginia as well. And after graduating from high school, I just wanted to pursue acting, so I moved to Los Angeles. Been there for a while, and when I got the writer's book and I wanted to launch my production company. I tried there, but it wasn't as successful as I wanted it to be, and I needed to be in a space where I could grow as well. And I felt like Atlanta was that place for me to go at the moment. So that's
Hmm.
what made me and drew me to come to from Los
To
Angeles to
Atlanta.
Atlanta. I had a successful acting career there, but it wasn't good with production.
Okay. So how long have you been in Atlanta?
I've been in Atlanta for almost going on 3, 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
You enjoying it?
I love it. Yeah, it's
It's a
different.
melting pot.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
a big melting pot. Everybody's here because I'm originally from Detroit, and I came here in many moons ago. And it's changed, it's different, but it's still a great place for entrepreneurs, great place to network and thrive. you know
I've
uh
been blessed to meet a lot of different people, and I feel like I've been able to. I've seen a lot of success in production and what I'm doing, so I'm enjoying it.
well, that's good. Well, let's jump into this book, Purpose Pains. Where did that concept come from?
Well, part of my story was I grew up, in a single family household. My mom and dad divorced when I was 4. I had an older brother. His name was Jaquan. He was older than me, 5 years, and he had muscular dystrophy, and which is a disease that weakens the immune system. And part of
Mhm.
growing up was me being the big brother to my big brother.
Mm,
We used to go to school together, kids would tease them and things like that. And we were just really, really close. But unfortunately, in 2006, he passed away due to
mm,
complications from muscular dystrophy. And that led me to depression. I often had suicidal thoughts because a lot of my identity was caught in taking care of my brother. I put a lot of stuff on
right.
hold, and part of me becoming who I am is through my writing. it was very
Hmm.
therapeutic for me to be able, because a lot of times men, we suppress our emotions. We got to be the rock of the family. I got to be strong for my mom and things like that. And it wasn't until I found the love of writing where I really wanted to, I felt like I had a outlet to be able to
Hmm.
express myself. And after my production in 2019, a lot of those feelings came back, because I did my play on the day on my brother's birthday. So a lot of people were always asking, Deontay, you're so inspirational. You're doing all these different things. What is driving you to do this? And I think part of that was the fact that my brother's no longer here has taught me that life is short. Go for your dreams. And
Exactly.
then it also, taught me that, a lot of people see your glory, but they don't understand the story behind it. So I wanted to write a book that really helped people understand how I took my painful experiences and helped to push it towards my purpose. Yeah,
Hmm.
my brother's no longer here no more. I still miss him to this day very much, but I didn't allow my pain to push me towards doing drugs, going out here, getting gangs, doing a lot of these different things that can, the enemy can try to push your pain and make it push you towards a negative aspect. And I wanted to write a book to show people this is how I overcame my personal challenges and experiences. So Purpose Pains is that book. It's a tool and guide to help people to see their painful experiences as not an opportunity to be defeated, but an opportunity to grow and push you towards your destiny and purpose. So I break down the acronym of PAIN. How P
Hmm.
stands for preparation, the A stands for adaptation. We get into a lot of the I stands for illumination. Sometimes we get into a situation we say everybody has abandoned me, but sometimes God is removing people out of our lives that serve us no good. We're attached to people who are part of our history, not our destiny. N stands for navigation, and I end it with S, supplication. So I just break down the acronym of PAIN to help you to see, that everything you go through is for your purpose and for your destiny.
Hmm. So this is like your memoirs, right?
Yeah, kind of like that. I call it my introspective autobiography, kind
Okay.
of, getting your insight into who I am, how I
Right.
got to where I am.
Right. And I know how that is to have been a caregiver for someone and then no longer have that to that needing to give that attention. And it's a good thing that you found that, that solitude in your pen and writing. Is that the play that you did as well? Was that play speaking to the book? You say you were in production. Was it with
No, the play
okay.
is different. So the play
It
is
was
published.
something different.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
something different. It's, that goes into it's a part of my life story because it's something I wrote for my mom. But no,
Gotcha.
it's on two different things.
Okay.
But
How long did it take you to write your book? Like when you decided to write it, how long was that process?
Well, it's all about God's timing because I actually tried to write a book in 2017 and it didn't come up with a title. I kind of knew where I wanted to go with it. I got in front of the computer and it was just like, okay, nothing is coming. So never rush your process. That's one advice I would give to authors. And it's your time, it's your time. But then when I got finished with my play in 2019, um, every time I try to sit down and just relax, I was like, I just did a play. I'm done for the year. God starts pouring in. So when he did, I wrote this book in less than 3 months.
Okay.
It just came together. It just flowed, and I can always tell when God is in something because it flows naturally. And I
Right. Never rush the
there was a
process.
book. Yeah. So
That's great. That's a great slogan to live by. That's a great mantra to live by. Never rush the process. And I think a lot of times we in life we do, kind of want to do it fast or
mhm.
just have our own way of doing it. And sometimes things aren't just in alignment with what all has to occur. Did you self-publish this book?
I had a publisher. Her name is Naisha Davis from Zaya Consulting. But she just really took my hand, and that's why I say never rush the process. That God will align people in your life. Just like I'm the first on your shot, I was the first book that she published. I just
Okay.
came to her one
So
day.
you have a knack for being first, huh? That's what you're
Yeah,
telling me.
I feel special. Y'all make me feel special today. I feel like I have favor. So I was talking to her at church one day, and I was like, I have this book I'm writing, but I just don't know how to go about it. How do I get it published? How do I go about that? And she was like, I'm actually trying to start publishing books. She was like, I feel like that's my gift that God is doing. Dude, she was like, let's do it. So I was her first book to publish. And then my second book was the first book she ever helped to put on England Spark. So I feel like, God is just do all these
Awesome.
first things.
So that's your publishing buddy.
Yeah,
That's your
so
publishing buddy.
she's been a blessing for both of my books. So yeah, when I did it, she helped me through the process, and she's great. If anybody wants her information, please message me. I'm always sending authors her way, who really wants to go out there and help publish their book.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know you mentioned that you have just completed another book,
Uh-huh.
which I love the title for that. Give them that title again.
My second book is a children's book. It's called Differently Able. It's just a
Right.
inspirational children's book about these four children who are going into middle school. They are trying to fit in. They have different disabilities. They're the center and the prank of everybody's joke. And around Christmas time, they're frustrated when this is the time when kids want toys and gifts, but they just want to be normal. They want to see life on the other side. So they write this letter to Santa. Person take it to the North Pole, and they go on this magical journey of seeing life on the other side. But when they get there, they realize that life isn't the same as they thought it would be. They're different because they make it different. So
Right. And you having that book launch tomorrow, correct?
well, the book is already launched, but I'm having a book
The
signing
book
tomorrow.
signing
Yeah, I'll be
tomorrow.
here in Gainesville. I'll be in Gainesville at the Next Chapter bookstore. All the
Okay.
information is on my page. If you guys want to come up with a personal signed copy, I'll be there, meet and greet. Wear my mask
Awesome.
on.
With your mask on.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So and what other things? I know you're doing your full production company. So what other things do you have coming up, soon?
Well, I have a stage production that I'm actually working on now called The Looking for Love in All Wrong Places. It's about a group of women who are successful in the medical field. They have everything that they want except for being in a relationship, being in love. They're infatuated with the idea of being in love. And because of that, they rush into these serious relationships, end up falling in love with their worst enemy. And the message of this play is when we rush God's time, and we pay the ultimate price for it. So we have to learn how to be patient. So that's coming October the 2nd and October the 3rd of this year. We sold out two shows in 2019. So we have three shows. We have
Okay.
two shows on the 2nd and one show on closing night on the 3rd. You can get all the information on my website as well. And then I have a short film that's coming that we're in post production called The Skin I'm In. Like I said, also the awards show. It's just a lot of things.
This
Now, I'm sorry, I have
this
a go
No,
ahead.
no, no, my apologies. The skin I'm in, is that what you said? Because I had a hard time hearing you.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, The Skin I'm In. It's a three-part series. So the first series is The Skin I'm In, Volume One, Melanin Melanie. It's about a biracial woman who grew up being teased and ridiculed for being biracial, and now she has a daughter. She's trying to protect her, and she kind of puts a lot of these colorism thoughts and teach her daughter how to be a colorist. But at the end, her daughter faces racism in a different way than she thought that she would be. And it's just really a film that talks about embracing one's beauty, and loving the skin that we're in. And the fight begins from within. We have to learn how to deal with a
Absolutely.
lot of our issues, and when we don't, it spreads into, us passing on to our children and other children. So I really wanted to spread that message, deal with the issues and the wounds and the issues that we have, so we don't carry that on to our offspring. And so
Yeah.
all of those
You are truly an inspirational artist. You
things.
truly are. You truly are. And I love it because you touch all aspects of life, something for the children, something for the adults, something for, like people in general, and just sharing your own story. So from that male perspective of the things that you went through, life being, not so great all the time, but just the fact that you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing through it, which is what we have to do with life. But you are walking that walk. You're not sitting up saying, hey, I'm going to, I should. You're actually out here making a difference, adding value to other people. And I thank you so much for that. Now, I'm asking on my authors the question to leave, or I should say to support our viewers. There's always somebody that wants to get their book out, wants to tell their story, but they're apprehensive. They haven't yet pulled the trigger. That book probably is maybe sitting on the shelf. What type of advice would you give them?
Um, I heard the last part you said to authors that are something on the shelf. You broke up a little bit on that.
Apprehensive about their book. Maybe their his story is sitting on the shelf and they haven't yet pulled the trigger
So
on.
you to start writing it.
Right.
Yeah, I would just say to really just go for it and do it. Don't rush the process, but really get to it. I feel like nobody can tell your story better than you. Your voice is important. And I feel like everything that we go through in life is for us to be able to put that story and share with someone else. I feel like when we start to become selfish, writing a book is a selfless process because you're
Mm,
sharing part of yourself and you're giving part of yourself. But when we withhold things, I feel like that's selfish. And God was showing me that. Sometimes I wanted to sit down on certain things because I was like, I don't want to write. I didn't want to write purpose things and share my experience because I was
mm-hmm,
just too afraid of what people would say or judge. But we have to just be selfless in the process and say, you know what, whatever I have inside of me right now is something that somebody else needs. So really just
mm-hmm.
get your story out there because if it touches just one person, you've done your job. Don't worry about if you're going to be the next bestseller. I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. Yes, God, He will make a way for that to happen. And I believe that we will all eventually get there. But just share your story and put it out there because if one person will read it and be inspired by it and you've done something, you changed one life, just go for it, put it out there. Don't worry about the process because once you take the first step, God will take 10 steps.
Absolutely. Amen to that. And what is your one power word? Every author has to give at least one power word.
Power word. Faith, you know,
Faith.
faith.
There you go.
Have faith.
There you go. Take your so what you told him to do was go for it, do it, trust the process, and have faith.
Yeah, I know. I was reading Lisa asked, "Where's the sign?" It's going to be in Gainesville, Georgia. I know you said for us to read the comments, and I didn't want to interrupt. I need to
Oh,
get you. Oh,
no
God.
problem. But I also was going to say to everybody to remind them that everything is on your website.
Yes, yes.
So please go to the website. Please ask, get the information down off of there. And yeah, that's Lisa Bailey. She's definitely here all the time,
Oh,
spreading the love. So shout out to Lisa Bailey. She's over there in Flowery Branch, Georgia. So yes, thank you so much. So I want to ask you to come back on our show, especially when you get ready to you know, uh go into production with your movie when that launches or whatever, so we can come back in and perhaps we can even come out and support you with helping you with some media in that area when you do your premiere of your movie. Is that going to be in Atlanta?
it will be. We're pushing towards the end of the year. I'm trying not to put a lot of pressure on myself. I really don't want to
No
rush the
pressure, no
process.
pressure.
Yeah, for the short film, but yeah, definitely. We're looking at the short film to be released end of this year or at the top of next year. Next year is
Okay.
going to be devoted mostly to the award show, but I'll probably end up doing the release top of the year as well. So we'll see how it
Awesome.
goes.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much, Deontay, for coming on today. I thank you for spreading your light. You are an amazing author. For all of you watching, please go purchase his book, Purpose Pains. And you can find that on Amazon. You can also go to his website and just get his full calendar because his calendar is busy. It is a busy
I know
calendar.
someone also asked about the book signing. It's going to be tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Gainesville, Georgia. Send me a friend request, Deontay Bolden on Facebook. I have all the information for you. Lisa, you can feel free to message me, Deontay Bolden, Facebook, and I'll give you all the answers.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in today and be well and safe and just keep doing your thing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for providing this platform, and I'll definitely be back. Invite me back in.
Absolutely. Thank you. So everybody, thank you so much. We're going to keep moving right along. And after I'm gonna bring up Linda, and after Linda comes on, then we're just gonna take a quick little break here, and because we got a full morning, we got a full day. Yes, we do. What's up, baby doll? How are you?
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I am fantabulistic. I don't even
You
know if that's a
so
word.
good. I'm loving the hair, right? I'm
Are
like, oh
you?
my gosh, the hair, that hair. Ready
Yes,
for
I had to switch it up a little bit. Had to switch it up a little bit. Will
you are
you?
rocking it as always.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, love, for coming in. You look amazing today. I'm glad that you were able to make it in today. My love goes out to you in every way, So Yeah, so you see our partner back here, 1044 Pro.
I see it, girl. 1044 Pro, one of the best protein bars on the market. You don't have to tell me. I know from experience.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm so glad that you're going to come in here and talk about this book. But before you get started in your book, I want you to introduce yourself to people, let them know who they're talking to, let them know, who they're about to go on this little quick journey with. And then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna get into your book and talk about some other things that you possibly have going on. Okay.
Okay.
All
Awesome.
right.
Awesome. So my name is Linda Goodwin, and I am that quintessential corporate chick turned entrepreneur. And I have worked in the healthcare industry for over 32 years, took early retirement, always had, I can't really say that I always had an entrepreneur spirit because that's really not true. I loved being in corporate America. I loved doing what I was doing, but I was beginning to see where I had skills that I could help other people. So I stepped out of corporate America on faith and started doing some things on my own. I started a mind mapping strategy business called Linda Be Good Enterprise. And what that really is it helps. It is an agency that helps people take what's in their head out, plot it on paper, and gives them a roadmap as to how to make it happen. One of the things I see so often, Wanda, is that people have ideas and dreams, but they also have fears and apprehension wrapped on top of that. And they don't know where to go. They don't know where to go to begin to unpack those things that they want to do. And I just bless God that He's given me a gift to be able to help people see what's in their head, help them articulate what's in their head, and then also help them create a path for how to get to that thing. Now, the fear and the apprehension is still there, and that's one of the gifts that He's also given me, is to help them work through that, and not allow those things to stop them from walking in their destiny, walking in their purpose. I talk a little bit more about destiny than purpose sometimes, but I think when people realize that they're destined to be something bigger than they might feel like they already are, or they're destined to do something great. I always tell people that all the time. We all are destined to do something great. So Linda Be Good Enterprise is an organization that helps people do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got, well, you know what? My apologies. I am going to ask you to just put that down in the chat just so I can move it over. Just in the chat box, just put your website in the chat box and then I can move it over. So, and while you do that, I want to ask you a few personal questions. Like, where are you from, Linda? Linda,
well,
Be Good.
I'm a small town country girl. So I was born and raised in a very small town in Virginia, very, very much near the Richmond, DC area. Okay. And it's called Jarrett. It's all of, I think last count, probably about 800 people, literally. So I grew up in that wonderful town, would not have changed a thing. Went to a historically Black college, went to Norfolk State, left Norfolk and ended up in Maryland. That's where I started working in the healthcare industry with Johns Hopkins, worked there for many years, and then was recruited and brought here to Atlanta by a former boss who created a position for me and moved me here to Atlanta with Prudential.
Okay.
And ended up being bought out by Aetna. So it's so interesting. People say,
I didn't know they bought out Prudential.
Yeah, Aetna Healthcare bought out the Prudential Healthcare version. Because whenever I tell people, I took early retirement, they're like, but you're only what, 50? How you do that? It was because of the different acquisitions. So I was blessed to be able to do that. And, you know, so I ended up here in Atlanta, and I moved here in 1989. So I've been here, no, 98, moved here in 98. So I've been here a really, really long
That's when
time.
I moved here in
Okay,
98. Yeah.
awesome,
Same
awesome.
time. Same time.
So I feel like an official Georgia peach.
You are. Definitely. Definitely are. So what this book is it's a collaborative, right?
It is. It is.
Okay. Hold it up so everybody can see it.
So
Great.
this book is a collaboration of 12 other amazingly gifted women. And the premise behind this book is that everyone has something that we are not doing because we are resisting it. And it's so
Mhm.
interesting because even my business, Linda Be Good Enterprise, as I mentioned, I do mind mapping strategy. And it's because people are just resisting. You know,
Right.
they have this dream, they have things they want to do, but they're just being hesitant about it or resistant about it or fearful about it. And so this book is the stories of these 13 women, including myself, that stepped outside of our comfort zone to talk about what we were
Mhm.
resisting.
What you were resisting. Hmm.
Yeah, what our resistance is and or was. And for me, I know you mentioned it, your guest a moment ago also mentioned it, but for me it was being a caregiver. So
Hmm.
I had caregiving is a spiritual gift. And
Yeah.
my mother's oldest sister, I have more uncles and aunts that are no relationship to me that lived in her
Mm.
house that we grew up with. And it's because she brought in every wounded creature into her home to heal them, feed them. I love eating. I love cooking for people. I got that from her too. And my mother really didn't have that, but my aunt did. And so it skipped a generation and it hit me.
Wow.
But to be honest, I was very resistant. I was not interested.
Really? You were fighting it?
I fought it. I'm like, I am not having people live in my house. I'm not, I can't take care of the world. But I was doing it anyway, to be honest.
Hmm.
And it
Hmm.
was the story in this book specifically is about the journey of when my mother decided that she wanted to come live with me.
Mm.
And I remember the phone call like it was yesterday. She said, I want to come live with you. And I said, I'm living La Vida Loca. You know,
Right.
I was working a great job. I was traveling. I was working a lot. I truly was enjoying the single life. And I just I didn't see it. And although
Mm.
my mother and I were very
How old
close,
were you at the time when she decided, I mean, when she needed to do that?
31, I was in my
Mm.
early 30s.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, my mother wasn't very social. My father was the social person. He never met a stranger, and so I felt like she would just kind of suck the life out of me because I'm like, where she wasn't very active.
Hmm.
So I had this vision of what it would be like to help her live her best life and
Hmm.
how difficult that was going to be for me.
Wow.
And so the story in this book is at the end of the day how I got to yes. It took some strong girlfriends, some conversations over some non-alcoholic but some alcoholic beverages
Both
that helped me.
alcoholic and
I'm
non.
just being candid. You know, there were some evenings we had to talk over some margaritas, and it was my one girlfriend, Camilla, and I talk about her in this chapter. She was very much like me, corporate chick, living life. Um, she said to me one evening, she says, Linda, the key for you is that you have to learn how to lean. And she leaned into me. And I tell people this story. It was that physical connection that did something for me,
Hmm.
that made me realize she didn't beat me over the head. Some of my friends was like, girl, you're gonna regret it if you don't, yada yada. But she just simply said, you got to learn how to lean. You can't be in this alone.
Hmm.
And it was that moment that I called my mom and I said, okay, we're going to figure this thing out. There's got to be boundaries. So, we talked about it. We created some rules, and we just made it happen. And the moral of this story is the fact that it was the best decision that I ever made.
Mhm.
And when I think about her, and I have pictures of her everywhere, I called her my Punky. So this is my mother, and her life, without a shadow of a doubt, her last 5 years were her best years, and I know that
because she was with you.
And because I exposed her too. We were at an event there. My mother didn't go to events. She had a real smile and a fake smile. My mother she was so funny, but all of my girlfriends doted on her, and so it was truly the right thing for me to do. So much so now I'm in the process of writing a full story of our journey called Chronicles of a Caregiver.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I want people physically saw the journey. People tell me all the time, they saw when we were out together, and but now I want them to see the behind the scenes, how we got there, how she got to where she was. And then caregiving, what I learned, Wanda, and this is where I know Chronicles of a Caregiver will be such a gift for people, because it's not just about me being a caregiver full time, mind you, for my mother, but I was also a supportive caregiver for a family member that unfortunately was dealing with drug addiction. Yep, lived in my house for 6 months. I was a caregiver for an elderly aunt that lived in Virginia. So if you can imagine traveling back and forth from Georgia to Virginia, she was 96 years old, never married, no children. I was born in her bedroom, so we were kindred spirits.
Oh my goodness.
And then now, to be honest, going through some things in my own personal life, I had to turn the mirror and look at myself and say, what happens when the caregiver needs a caregiver?
Right.
So God is pouring into me, not just to talk about, the relationship between my mother and I, but to help others. There are a lot of caregivers out there. I have a best friend who's a grandparent, who's a caregiver of 3 grandkids. And that's tough. That's tough. So there's so many challenges that comes along with this. I want to share how to be able to not lose yourself along the journey of being a caregiver, no matter what your caregiver journey looks like.
Right.
That's what I want to do for people.
And Linda, tell us about some of the other stories. And this is what I love about collaborative books, anthologies and collaborations, is because you get not just your story, but some other stories. So can you share with us what are some of the other stories that I know people would gravitate to as well? Or
Absolutely.
just the topics of the other situations?
Sure. One of the topics that, was something that resonated with me as well was, this young lady had this innate desire to be a speaker. She wanted to be a speaker. But it was for her, it truly was not feeling she was good enough, not feeling that she was pretty enough, not feeling that she was smart enough. So she hid behind all of that. So topics like that, fear is, as you can imagine, several of the authors talk about at the end of the day, just how fear can be crippling to someone, in the essence of walking into your destiny. And I said that earlier, the word destiny means a lot to me, because what I realized after I stepped out of corporate America, it wasn't because, I've always wanted to do it. I never always wanted to work for myself, but I realized that my destiny was bigger than what I was living in. And one of the other topics in here is walking, not just in your purpose, but finding your true destiny. So it's stories like that makes this collaborative so meaningful. And these are all women. These are all God chicks. I love them because I know them all. These are all Jesus girls. So they talk from a perspective of faith and hope. It's not all pretty. Let me just be honest. There's some stories in here that talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that was their reality.
Right.
But the blessing in this book is it really is a how to get past the resistance. That is what the ultimate gift is in this book. When you read it, if you truly want to get past your resistance, this book can help you in a lot of different scenarios get to that place.
Great. And where can we get a copy of the book from?
So right now,
website.
Website is still under construction. That should be done by the end of this month. However, if you I'll put it here, my email address. Anyone can email me directly, and with that, you'll get a personally signed autographed copy of the book, and I will send it to you directly.
Okay, great. What is are you all? I know you spoke about your Chronicles of a Caregiver. When are you looking to release that book?
Well, it is 75% written, and it was so interesting when your first guest was on. I'm going to be calling him about his publisher. Although I have some publisher contacts, I'm like, I want to talk to her. But yeah, a friend of mine, Crystal Banks Waits, is an amazing publisher as well, who not only teaches us how to self-publish, but she does that too. But I'm always looking for opportunities to meet other publishers. This book was self-published, but I want to secure a publisher for this one. So I'm still in the writing phase of it, because writing was not easy for me. I mean, although in corporate America, I'm a communications chick. I ran a communications team, but to sit at that computer,
the discipline of writing.
Oh my gosh, yes. Because being a visionary, my mind goes like 100 miles an hour. I see it all. So it's funny. I was saying to a girlfriend, I was like, okay, the mind map strategist needs a mind map strategist. I need someone to help me talk through everything in my head. And I did. I found someone that helped me do that just to create my outline. Because if I didn't, it would have taken much longer. But the goal is my goal is to have this new book ready to be published for Christmas.
Before Christmas. Good time.
Yep.
Good time. And that's great. And so always, you know that you can use the I Am Enough talk show as a marketing platform. We would love to help you with the marketing, part of your book. I'm looking forward to reading it, because that's a very deep subject, being a caregiver, because I've been a caregiver. I didn't even realize I've been a caregiver most of my life, not even realizing that that's what I've been. From taking care of my brother when my mother was wild, and from then caring for my mother in the end when she couldn't care for herself, or caring for my great grandmother and my grandmother and my grandfather. I mean, I really have been a caregiver all my life. So I know what that feels like, even in listening to Deontay, talk about after there's no one to care for, what do you do? But luckily I've always just been doing things as I've been doing things, so yeah, it's very interesting. So I'm very excited about that. When you release that book, that will be such a blessing, because there is so many people out here that are taking on those responsibilities and need a lot of resource.
And I was going to say that I actually am on a board, and it's a board for adults who are taking care of parents, and that's our focus, is to create make resources available, because people don't know where to go, what to do. Let me just say this too. I know that I was a caregiver. God released me in my caregiving spirit when my mother came to live with me. is a direct correlation for me being in the healthcare industry. Me being in the healthcare industry, I fell in that. I didn't say, oh, it was not planned. It was not a strategy. But my mother had a lot of illnesses. My mother was on 23 different medications. She was a below the knee amputee. She had COPD, congestive heart failure. And I knew every single one of her medications by sight. I was truly her medical advocate. I would have clinicians say to me, what do you do for a living? Because I had to. There were times when she would have medical episodes where she could not articulate for herself.
Wow.
And so when I look back on, the stair steps to get you where you are, there's no reason in my mind, no doubt in my mind that my journey led me to that. Yes, it was time, and a lot of people don't have that. I have a girlfriend that her mother had severe dementia, and she did not know where to go to get the types of resources that were available and or needed to help support her mom.
Yeah. And that's the things that we need. And this is why we write books. So when some people know, and when other people do the research and gather all that information together, that's very, very important. So I really, really appreciate you for that. So Linda, what's next? Anything brewing in the pots? Anything coming up soon?
Well, so I don't know why I'm trying to become an author. It's like all of a sudden, why is it that I want to write? On the side of my desk, I'm actually writing with my 8-year-old goddaughter a guided journal for little Black girls. It is an affirmation journal for little Black girls. And she's so smart. She's so articulate. She's a creative. And, I said, why don't you create a coloring book with your TT? And so we're working on that, but that's a work in progress with an 8-year-old. So that's one thing that we're working on as well. And then just continuing to work on Linda Be Good Enterprise. It is a blessing when you have a business that I've not had to market a lot. I have after COVID, I thought I was going to slow down, and instead things sped up for me. And so I have clients that realize that they have businesses that they want to launch. And what I do, Wanda, in that mind map space is not just business related. Some of it's personal, and so my business is doing very well. And I'm grateful to God for that. And between Linda Be Good Enterprise and this whole
baby.
Yes.
No, now you're a coach. Now you're a writing coach to your baby.
I didn't think about that. I need to write that down.
Might as well add that on in there in the list. Add that to the list. Yes. Great. So what would you say to any of our viewers that have been sitting on their hands where it comes to writing? Maybe they may have written it but have not published yet. So what type of advice could you give them?
To me, it really is simple. I sat, and there are days where I still sit, and I have to have conversations with myself, and that goes back to my recommendation is just to do it. And I know that people just say, oh, that's just so easy. But if you don't, it will never get done. Right. And some people are disciplined, say, okay, I'm gonna put a date on it. I wasn't disciplined like that. I had to seriously have a conversation with myself and say, do you want to do this? And if you want to do it, it's not going to get done. And then sometimes I have to, I kept talking about doing it. And I was like, Linda, stop talking about it. If you're not going to do it, just shut up. So that's how I had to talk to myself.
That's how I talk to people.
Yeah. I'm like, just shut up. Don't talk about it anymore.
Right.
Or even have an accountability partner. I call them my magnificent 7. I have 7 very good friends in my innermost closest circle. And all of them bring different gifts to my life. And there's two of them that truly will, just kind of
give you the heart.
Right, put the boot where the boot need to go. They was like, okay, did you do your pages today? I'm like, oh my God, So I do have real accountability partners where I don't have to call them up. It's not structured. They just feel my vibe, and we check in on each other. But if you don't have someone like that, you got to find someone like that. You don't need 7 like I got. That's just, that's
that's just too many.
Right.
But you need
right.
7.
Yes, I needed the 7. But so I would tell people to do that. And to be honest, I mean, this is no shameful plug from a business perspective, but I'm willing to talk to anyone, because it was not easy for me to start writing Chronicles of a Caregiver. It took me like 3 months just to write doggone outline. But I kept thinking about, and that's why I think I have photos of my mom. I have a writing desk. I have a specific area that's all I do is write in that space. And she's on that. My Aunt B's photo is on that desk. So I can't walk by
to give you your inspiration, let you know, like, hey, come on over here and take care of this business.
Hey, we over here.
Yeah, you're supposed to be over here doing something, right?
We haven't seen you in a minute. We haven't seen you in a minute.
That is wonderful. So give us your one power word before we before we break for this short period of time. What's your one power word that you would leave our viewers with?
Destined. I mean, I had this flash moment where I realized that I was destined to do certain things. And like I said, there's a difference for me between purpose and destined. I just, and I say this to my 8-year-old goddaughter all the time, you were destined to be great. You were destined to do big things. You were destined to go great places. And that's the difference to me. It's not your purpose to do those things. You're just destined. And that's what I feel in my spirit. My destiny. And I don't, it's not all laid out. Some days the things that I'm destined to do just reveal themselves. But the things that I'm doing right now, they weren't on the bucket list like 5 years ago. I can tell you that.
Yes, I love it. Linda, I love you so much. I thank you so much for just coming in, spending a little time with us today. When this Chronicle book come out, you have to come back and talk about it, because I can't wait to read it. And if we want to purchase a copy of your book, you say the best thing to do is to email you, right? So then they can send that, send a request to you by email, and you will send them a book, an autographed copy by email. So so I thank you for that. This has been a blessing. Continue to enjoy the rest of it. And also for our viewers, we started on Monday, and all of our sessions are on the website, IamEnough365.com. So we kicked it off Monday, and it has just been rapid fire. So many golden nuggets, so much beautiful content on here, so many amazing authors like yourself. So I would just strongly encourage you, if you want to just sit back and just take a listen to it, you'll be proud of me. You'll be proud.
Well, I'm already proud of you. You truly are the queen out there. So I'm already proud of you, but I will do it to support you, because that's what's important too, is that we make sure that we support platforms like this. What you're doing is a blessing to many. So continue the amazing work.
Thank you so much. And you have an amazing day. What day is it? Friday? Yes, have an amazing Friday.
I know, right? I know. You do the same.
Thank you. So everybody, I want to sing to y'all, but y'all probably don't want me to sing, so I won't sing. We're going to take a quick break, and then I will be right back with our next author.
Wanda is considered one of the most passionate and positive people you'll ever meet, both personally and professionally. Her inspirational mentoring, sales, and customer service training has dubbed her to be Wanda D. Hollis, the Motivational Queen. She launched Wanda DTV, a revolutionary online real estate talk show where local businesses and community leaders discuss their services, issues, and concerns. Wanda is passionate about helping people achieve their goals and dreams. She has gone on to pursue many passions, including her I Am Enough talk show, having a seat on the West Georgia Board of Realtors, author of inspirational and motivational books, and also a strong supporter of several nonprofit organizations within her community. Wanda believes that there's no such thing as bad decisions, only regrets of not making the right attempt. For speaking engagements or to book her for your next event or conference, please visit www.IamEnough365.com.
And we're back. So y'all know the program. Send Linda some love, put her lots of hearts, love, vibrations in the comment so she can feel those vibrations, so she can pick those up as she continues to have an amazing day. And isn't this been excitement? We have so many more to bring you. I am just overwhelmed. You know, every time I hear a new story, it always takes me to a place within myself. Every time someone shares something amazing, it's like, wow, you know, you have those wow moments. So for our viewers, I just want to let me just take a minute to talk to you for a second. Thank you so much, author Tiasha Janae, for coming in the room and helping out. Yes, spreading all of that information down here. We got Linda's, I'm putting it down again, her email address where you send her email to get her book, and she'll send you an autographed copy. Her website will be up really soon. Felicia's in the building. Songbirds in the house. And yes, Linda's word was destined. So y'all make sure y'all write that down. Hopefully y'all are keeping a journal of this whole event, because this is something else. And Felicia said she probably needs 10 accountability partners. Okay, well, go right ahead and get them. And also, Linda's saying was, just do it. If you don't do it, it will never get done. I like that. That's definitely something that we need to live by. So thank you, Yvette. Yvette has showed up in the building. Thank you so much. We got Boston in the house. Miss Lisa Bailey is in the building. She was commenting as well. So as y'all keep the comments coming in, just know that I really, truly appreciate you. Thank you for spreading the love. Thank you for sending out all of the, reposting. So that's amazing. I think one day we had like 50 reposts. Do you know we are crushing the internet? I mean, like crushing it. That is amazing. So I just really, really appreciate y'all for doing that, because, you know, you don't have to do it, but you do it. So I appreciate that. Sharing is caring. And shout out again to Grady Baby Radio 1044 Pro. As I said before, hit that subscribe button on a YouTube channel, and then ring that bell so when we go live, you'll know it. Thank you guys for tuning in on the Wake Up Winning for Entrepreneur page, and also in the Winning Evening News. We really, truly appreciate you for taking out your time to be here. I'm going to bring on our next author. She has a book titled Nasty Pro. I wonder what's that all about. It's not what y'all think it is, but it's still a cool title, right? So come on in the room. Queen, how are you?
Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
I am doing wonderful. I need you to do a couple of things for me. Okay. Do you have headsets, and your light is behind you? It should be in front of you so we can't see you. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a minute to straighten that out. There you go. There, the light is better. Now give us some headset. Okay. Okay. Because there's feedback.
Oh, I'm echoing.
Yep. So we need some headsets, or either turn your volume down really low, and we'll see if we can deal with that. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Are you
Is that
there?
better? Is that better?
Look.
No.
Let me see. We haven't yet got going in our conversation. So when I speak, it's going to echo because of the
Gotcha. Okay.
vibration on your end. But let's see if we can make it happen. I want you, Queen. I'm gonna move out your way. That will help. So you can just introduce yourself to everybody, and then I'll come back
Yeah.
in and we'll talk it up. Okay. Thank you so much for being
Absolutely.
here.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you. And
Absolutely.
hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. My name is Cherie. And again, if hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Again, my name is Cherie. I am the founder of Marks RS, Marketing and Advertising, and of the title book, Nasty Pro. Yes, the title. The title. The title is called Nasty Pro, very simply because this is strictly based upon entering into the customer service, the realm of customer service. Business professionals, people that's climbing the corporate ladders, this is all for you. Now, I say that because customer service seems to be some type of a lost attribute, right? And when we go into business for ourselves, that kind of gets lost. And so my main focus was to write not only about the problems, but we wrote about solutions. So this is really an interactive guide to finding out whether you are a nasty professional. That's where the title comes from, Nasty Pro. And I use the title Nasty because that is kind of like the narrative in the world of customer service as of right now. It's really, if you don't go with me, then, whatever type situation in, as far as businesspreneurs and things to that nature, people that sell products and services and things like that. So to them, sorry about that. To them, it's easy to, have that spark of, yes, I'm starting my business. We're getting into it. And that's kind of like what is gearing you to, start your business and maintain your business. But the thing is, a lot of times we forget about customer service. We forget about who we are servicing, right? So when we start our business, we post on social media, we do all the things that we're supposed to do to elicit and, let our customers know we're here. We're excited. This is what we want to do. We're here, right? Until, right, we get that one customer that isn't happy with the product or services that you work so hard to make, provide, and produce. And you get that one person that says, this isn't right. Either they cut you out. We've had those, right? We've all worked in call centers, or some of us, and we've all dealt with, the general public at some point. And sometimes you are given, you are brought into a situation where it's like, you're thinking in your mind, is this person serious? But you can't conduct your service that way. And that is a lost attribute. And that is the reason why we wrote the book, Nasty Pro.
That is great.
We have to get out of the mindset.
I was going to just say, I was trying to break in and say that's a great title. And, I totally agree with the quality of service that we get nowadays. I often say that all the time, coming from a service industry, of knowing that it's just, I don't know, it's just a disconnect between the product and the public, and the people,
it's
and the integrity of humanity is being lost. That's what it is. So
that's it.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about now, where are you from?
I'm from Ohio.
You from Ohio?
Ohio.
Okay, up top,
Ohio. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
up
ma'am.
top. Okay, okay, Ohio.
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah.
and were you in the service industry for a long time? Is that what drew you to write this book?
Very long time. My very first job, we have, and I'm sure all over, all over the country that had summer programs. Remember when you were in school and you couldn't wait until you were old enough to get into the summer program? That was me. So my very first job at the age of 14, I worked at the Ohio State University in their depository. So there is where like I began to develop like a whole new world, of literature, books, but also working, with other people, in general, not necessarily corporate, but that was later on, but that's where it began. So yeah.
And
Yes,
when
ma'am.
did you start noticing the need for that book to be written?
It's been a while. It's been a really long time. And it's one of those things where you're supposed to be doing it, but procrastination gets you, life gets you, and it's just like, but it really came down to you kind of have to. You kind of have no choice. I started traveling more. So I was kind of like getting out of my bubble, and I running into situations where you would have to stores, retail, hotels and things like that, and you would notice the interaction between customer and employee, and stuff just started adding up. And then you begin to think, and it's like and I have a lot of people that I know personally that has begun their businesses, they started their businesses, and then it's just, I don't want to say cocky. I don't want to say the word cocky, but I will say comfortable. They begin to be comfortable with their craft and, what they made. And then they forget that, your customer is who you really need. Without them, there is no you. And that is, what really made me start to, cut the tape. I said, you know what? Yeah. Not only is it about, tailoring out, numbering out the problems of customer service, but the main focus is providing solutions. It's not just a book of this is what the issues are, but it's really a book of, it's an interactive guide. It's going to make you write things down. Accountability is going to make you do that. It's going to. So you might have to grab a couple of copies.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So who is the book for? So who should read the book? Is this book also good for, say, someone that's running a business as far as a training guide for their employees as well?
So someone had just recently told me that that they actually wanted to use the guide in their customer service training manual, which I thought was pretty dope. I wasn't expecting that. This, like I said, this was geared towards business professionals, whether you're climbing the corporate ladder in another company or you are a business professional and you own your own business. Anybody that's dealing with customers, the general public, this is for them.
Okay, so anybody. So from somebody that has their own business or they're doing multi-level marketing or just anything dealing with the public, just the whole public relations end of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So out of that book, you say you formulated your company. Did that come before your company formulated or after?
This was after. Yeah. Okay. Because it was a lot of interaction with other people. And like I said, I began to travel more. So it was a lot of interactions with, different companies and different people and different business professionals. Right. So, and I got a lot of, I like the way you said that type things, when we were dealing, if I'm in meetings and stuff like that and consultations, it's like someone has told me that before. I can't tell you how many times I've been told someone has told me that before, but the way you said it kind of made me understand. And it made me think about what my grandmother used to always tell me. It's not always what you say, it's how you say it. So that kind of like I said, it began to build into this thing. Surround, like I said, it wasn't even had nothing to do with my marketing and advertising company. It's just based upon like what I was pushed to do. Like I said, with the relationships that I have with other people, and as much as I have to talk to other people, that it just stems from that.
Did you self-publish this book?
I actually worked with another partner, a business partner of mine, who is super adamant about remaining anonymous. So this is the face that you'll see about Nasty Pro. But it's funny because my partner, we met when I was 14, and we met at the Ohio State University, and it's just happenstance that in our adulthood that we reconnected, and we've worked at some places together. Which kind of like correlated the idea of, sharing experiences of what we've been through. And because, the relationship that we have, it was really easy to collaborate, take, corporate and professional experiences and incorporating it into this book.
So that's a combination of personal and professional. Can you turn
Absolutely.
your volume down?
How's that?
Okay. Much.
Is that
a
good?
A little better. Yeah, absolutely. A lot better. Because every time I would speak, I could not hear what I'm saying from the sound on that end. Okay, so now I can hear myself. So when you were going through the process of writing your book, what are some of the things that you leaned on for the information? And tell me about like some maybe take us through how long would it take a person to like read the book, or what should they be expecting when they crack open the book?
Absolutely. And that was the thing. So me personally, I don't have that long of an attention span. You kind of got to grab me, and while you got me, give me everything you got. So that is the basis of where I was coming from with this book. It's not a long drawn out situation. This is literally quickly and to the point. When you crack this book open, the very first thing that you're going to see is the reasons why. Okay. It's not going to, you're not going to have to flip pages and chapters and say, okay, well, let me try to figure out how does this apply to me? You'll get it as soon as you get it. Now, as far as, and to go back to your question, as far as publishing, my partner has a publishing company, CH Press Publications, which is, again, how the train began to move on the tracks. So when we published Nasty Pro, I'm like, okay, well, let's publish under your new publishing company. So it was kind of, like I said, a collaborative effort that just made sense. The journey, not so easy. It's easy to write. Once you get the clutter out of your mind, it's easy to get everything down on paper. It's just, having someone to be able to, edit and, do all of that, fine tuning, kind of like take my language out of it, so to speak. And kind of, like I said, kind of like fine tune everything. That was probably the hardest thing, but writing it didn't take me long at all. It took me maybe about 2 months. 2 months of solid writing. I pinned out a time every single day, whether it was a day. I don't care if I was in the car, or if I was working out, I would have to pick up the phone, when I stop at a light or something like that, jot this down so that you won't forget. Because it's, like I said, especially if it's pertinent information, that's the information that I would need in the book. So things like that, it like I said, it did take a little time, couple of months, but before that, leading up to this, it's been almost maybe about a year.
Okay. Yeah. So is there going to be a sequel to this book? Like a
for sure. Oh, for sure. What I plan on doing is I plan on lighting the corporate world up. That's my goal. That's my plan. We started customer service because that's always the ground level. For any corporate company, your customer service representatives is typically, your first responders. So my next move is to target them. Because if you notice, and I don't know if if anybody has ever worked, in customer service based industry, when you're in training and you get your training manuals and you get your training guides, it's very much geared towards the public. It's geared toward the customer, how you are supposed to treat them. No matter how they treat you, it's based upon what we're paying you and how we're paying you to treat them. And I kind of think that narrative needs to change a little bit. And gear it more towards the people who you have working for you. So that's kind of like our next move, is to kind of like pinpoint the bigwigs of the customer service We're getting in the boardrooms. That's the goal.
I love it.
Mhm.
That is some great information. Where should people go to find your book? I have the Amazon, but is there a preference that you have?
Yes, you can get the book off of chpresspub.com. Again, that is chpresspub.com, directly through the publishing website.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. And what advice would you leave our viewers with that are a little apprehensive about writing their book or starting their book? What kind of advice would you give them?
You've heard it a million times. You've heard it a million times, but there's literally nothing to it but to do it. Literally nothing to it but to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're cooking dinner one day, make yourself physically walk out of your kitchen, go grab a notepad and start jotting stuff down, whatever's in your head at that particular time, and then do it again the next day. And then try it again the next day after that. If you didn't have time, you'll think about it next week. When you think about it at that very moment, do it again. Keep your notepad accessible on your cell phone so that when you start thinking about things, just jot it down. Before you know it, you'll have about 14 to 15 pages of things that turns into a book.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to it but to do it.
That's beautiful.
That's it.
And then all our authors are leaving with our viewers with a power word. Ms. Sharif, what will be your power word?
Go. Go. Go.
I love it. I love it. That sounds like a good word coming from you.
Go. That's it. Let's go.
That's wonderful. Well, I really appreciate you stopping by today and being a part of
Absolutely.
our book fair. I hope that you continue to, support the other authors and you all please go and purchase the book. Got a lot of great comments, and I'm pretty sure, because our community is entrepreneurs. And when I saw that, when I read your book, when I saw it, I was like, this is good. One thing about it is we're drawn to titles, and that title will make you say, what is this about? Without reading any further, just nasty pro. But I like it that you're creative in your writing but yet practical.
That was the goal.
Because like you said, goal accomplished. You hit it right on the nail. You did that. Because people need to get the information, and because we're in a world where everything's moving really, really fast, they don't have the discipline to sit down for a long period of time. But if you can get it and you give them an assignment and then they do it, then they're like, okay, that worked. Let me go get another assignment. Boom, that worked. So it's a free flow. So that's why that's your word.
Go. Go. Let's go.
Yes. Well, when you get ready to do your second book, I want you to make sure that you come back here.
Absolutely.
And share it with our viewers. And I look forward to connecting with you about anything else you have going on when you make it this way to Atlanta. Make sure you look us up.
I will actually be there soon in the next couple of months, so I definitely will do that.
Okay, well, sure. You got my email, so definitely, and you have my phone number, so just call me and let's have lunch. Let's get together and have lunch. Let's do it face to face.
Let's go.
Go.
Let's go.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from the Queen. Queen, you take care, okay?
You as well. Bye, everybody. You make sure you have a wonderful Friday.
Thank you. I will. Let's go. What did she say? Go. This is wonderful. You all, you keep hearing the same thing over and over. So it must be some truth in that. My granny always said, if a lot of people keep telling you the same thing over and over again, it must be true. And I'm speaking to the people that are sitting on the fence of writing their book or even doing anything, whether it's starting your business, whether it's, decluttering some stuff, taking action to anything in life, you have to go. And I'm blessed to be able to meet so many interesting people when we're hearing these stories. But at the end, when that question is asked, it's basically the same. We keep getting the same answer. So imagine if we have heard over half of our authors So can you imagine at the end of this book tour that you would have heard about 60 plus people tell you the same thing, which is go, you can do it. What are you waiting for? You have nothing to lose. All of these things should be starting to take up residence in our spirit to where we can say, you know what am I waiting on? What do I have to fear? It's okay, because it's okay if you make a mistake. We don't get it right. And you could do something over and over and over again and still don't get it right. So this is the spirit that we have to always embrace when it comes to the decisions to win, right? True. So I just want to thank everybody for continuing to hang out. We still have some more authors that are coming in, and I am going to see what's going on. And I want to say this to any of our people that's watching: the floor is open, the floor is yours. So if you want to come in and talk about some of the authors that have been here, all you have to do is raise your hand and I'll send you the link. And let me do that, because we had Lisa Bailey on here, but she had a bad connection the other day when she slid into the space, and she was going to offer us some good tips, and well, not tips. She was going to tell us about what her experience has been like. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for anybody that want to come in and share some things that maybe have been an aha moment for you, or if you don't want to put it in, you can put it in the chat. If you don't want to come all the way in here, you can, if you're too shy, if you're saying, I don't want to get on camera right now, then just put it in the chat so we can talk about it, so we can share it with everybody before we bring up our next author. My aha moment, I'm going to tell you what my aha moment was. My aha moment is the placement of everyone that has come through so far. I had received a message and they said to me, did you place people like that? Because it seems like everybody is just fitting. I said, no, I did not. What I did when we started on this venture, I just sent a spreadsheet and I let people pick their own spot what day was good for them, what time was good for them. And as a result, it's almost like it was planned, but I didn't have anything to do with it. It was divinely planned. People just picked days, and as it turned out, that has built up this beautiful application of authors just coming on board, just one after another, like kind of like you passing a baton. That's what we're doing. Everybody's coming in and just passing the baton to the next person and passing the baton to the next person. And it's all just like really coming together like this big pot of gumbo, right? Everybody loves a big pot of gumbo, or is it just me? So, you put your ingredients in there, and one ingredients add to the next ingredients to the next ingredients. That's one of my aha moments. And then for today, listening to the authors talk about being a caregiver. And if you notice, we've had 2 back-to-back authors talk about being a caregiver. And some of you may know my story, may not, but I want to share with my story. When I wrote my second book, it was because I had just finished caring for my mom, my grandmother, and my grandfather. They all passed in the same year. And my mother passed, and my grandmother was sick, she fell and she could not make it to the funeral. And she got very, very depressed. And plus my grandfather was in a nursing home, and I'm sure that was depressing to her as well. So after my mom passed, I left Atlanta and went to where she was. And when I got to her room, she was in the hospital at the time, and I got in her room and she opened up her eyes and she said, what are you doing here? And I'm saying, I'm here for you. And she said, how long are you going to be here? And I said, until you tell me to leave. She said, I doubt that, because up until that point, we would always go there to see them, but we would come in and, be headed out real soon, make these short, sweet trips. But I knew in my heart that I was going to be there until she told me that I could leave. And I knew that when I looked at her. I said, no, I'm going to be here until you tell me to go. She was like, I doubt that. She had this kind of like raspy voice. So I was like, okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you better than I could tell you. Well, what happened was she made her transition when I was there. And so I was there until she told me to leave. Then my grandfather, he passed about 3 weeks after she did. And I said, what's going on? So within that year, 2017, I went from being a caregiver, because I was a caregiver to my mom in the way that I would take her to our appointments. And at that time, I had just got called on this tour, and I was doing a lot of motivational speaking. And my mom said, well, what about me? She had cancer and she was going into therapy all the time. I said, oh, Mom, don't worry. I got you. When you got an appointment, I'll come, and take you. And, so that's how we rode. So when she was no longer here, immediately it was almost as though I spoke at my mom's memorial, and then within a couple of weeks I was headed down the highway to see my grandmother, which was in the hospital. And as I told you, when I arrived, what she said. So in my mind, I was still thinking that I was going to bring my grandmother back to Atlanta with me. And my grandfather, I had it all planned out, y'all. I had it all mapped out. I said, forget that. We're going to get a bigger house. Matter of fact, my mom's house, I said, we just move in my mom's house because she had a bigger house. I'm bringing my grandparents back. We just going to, I'll just be out there with them and we'll be okay. Well, that wasn't the plan. So after my mom passed, and then my grandmother, she passed, and then my grandfather turned around and made his little transition. This was at the end of the year, 2017, going into 2018. Well, I needed something to do. I needed not just something to do, I needed to keep making the impact that I was attempting to make. But the transition of their lives solidified, and it gave me more of a go, of a right now, not later, not next week, not next month, but right now. It gave me a right now attitude. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been a tough cookie and I've always had a pretty aggressive attitude, but this really amplified everything. So what I did for my own salvation was, and to keep my head in the game, I reached out. I never forget, Taria Avant had sent an email and said, hey, do you want to be a collaborator? And I said, I wonder what that looks like. And I said, sure. So immediately I started gathering people. I gathered like 21 people to be a part of the Wake Up Winning No Matter What, the first book. And it was my way to keep going. So I turned my nurturing into those individuals. I went and visited. People were out of town, out of state. I went and took trips to meet authors. I went to events when they would put on events. I was there. I was just going. I handheld everyone to make sure that this project, but it wasn't really about the project, y'all. And I want y'all to catch this. It was about me needing, and I say that very strongly, me needing to stay relevant, me needing to keep pushing. So I turned my focus onto what was needed. See, I was in need, and yet I needed something, and it was to keep pushing. So the message was, wake up winning no matter what. That was the message. And so in this first book, it was all these stories, about people that had went through different things, from molestation to to being to multiple illnesses, recovering from cancer and strokes and heart attacks and just everything, from bankruptcy, from from children performing badly, from from domestic violence. It was just a lot of things, but it wasn't so much as the tragedies that they had went through. It was how they had overcome them. And this is where we was, and that's where I was in my life. Of this is how you keep pushing through. You keep pushing through when it's hard. You keep pushing through when it's difficult. You keep pushing through when it seems like the boulder is so heavy to bear. But as Deontay said, you have to do it because it's necessary. Our lives is not just connected to just our family members. They're connected to how you then serve the planet. So what happens then is my focus then became, and I even homeschooled right after that. So I know that was my way of dealing with my grief. I think about what all I did. So my aha moment, that's what I'm sharing with you all. My aha moment was when Linda talked about how she was resisting caring for her mom. And now she's going through health challenges. And now the caregiver needs a caregiver, because we all get a turn. I reflected back on when these were the people, my ancestors, now they're on the other side, but they were the people that did the sacrifices for me. They were the people that took me on the bus rides and showed me things to experience life. My grandfather, short story about my grandfather. My grandfather was like about 52 or so when he decided that he wanted to learn how to ski. And I never forget the day that I came home and he said, "Come on, we're going to the store." And I said, "Okay." So there we were in the car going to Dunham Sporting Goods store. And he purchased 2 ski packages and said, "We're learning how to ski." And I was a teenager at the time. And there we were then up on the mountains learning how to ski. My grandfather has always been a person that's poured into me of right now. Any sales job that I have, anything that I've taken on, and he said, well, he used to call me Sweet Pea. He say, "Sweet Pea, what you doing now?" I said, "Well, I'm selling this product, or I'm doing this." And he would always say, "Well, if you're selling it, sell it." So as I listen to all of the authors so far, whether they're writing books on their personal stories or writing characters out, it's all the same. We all have stories to tell. We're all a part of our living legacies until we cross over. And when you cross over, isn't it wonderful to say, hey, or to know that you are capable right now of leaving something that will live on long after you're gone? That's why you become an author, because when you're gone, somebody's going to read your story. Somebody's going to be inspired. And as so many has said, your story is not for you. It's for other people. The experience, that we went through, yeah, sure, that was for us. But it was so it could make a big difference in somebody else's life. And I tell you about the now. See, I woke up, I think it was today. I woke up today, and I have this attitude now that I want to live life every day like it's my last day. And I didn't live life like that. I lived life like there's a tomorrow. That's how I lived life before. Before that experience that I had in 2017, I would say, I got, I'll do that tomorrow. But I wake up every morning and I say, what am I going to wear today? What do I want to, how do I want to show up today? Today, what attitude do I want to have today? Today, what do I want to do today? Because I know that life can change and shift in a moment of seconds. And then you'll think you have time. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have time. So what are these comments out? Are y'all coming? Is somebody coming in to tell me what their aha moment? Yes, thank you, Tiasha. So let me just read this to everybody. What did it say? Amber, hey Amber Cakes. What's going on, Queen? She said, Amen. Queen, your eyes opened the doors, those so many to share parts of their story. Thank you for saying yes in the midst of your own time of processing through your own grief. Yes, love you to life, and I love you too. And it was definitely, I tell you, when we were putting the story together, like I came home right after that. It took a month or so, tie up some loose ends, and I came home, and the most important things that I brought home was 2 plants. And the plants, my grandmother named them Candy and Cliff because that was their names. So she said she was the big plant. But that was the most important thing that I brought home, because I knew that those plants would keep living. And right now they're in the kitchen, and they have birthed other plants from those 2 plants. So I just share that because it was so surreal when I drove home with that thought of, I do not have them to care for. See, I've been a caregiver all my life. I can write a story on that. I cared for my brother when my mother wasn't really in the position to care for him when he was little, and she would leave us home by ourselves, and I would have to step in. I missed school caring for my brother. And then I cared for my great grandmother when my grandfather was acting poorly, badly, and wasn't doing the right thing. I had to step in and care for them, for her. So I guess that's another calling that God has just put on my life. And I had not even thought about it until just sitting here reflecting over these beautiful stories. So what did you say, Felicia? It seems like your family released you from being the caregiver for them, so you nurture your spirit and become free, soar, share guidance and inspiration to the masses. I appreciate you for who you are. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you too. And this is our songbird that I've been playing her song, and she's just amazing, just a beautiful, beautiful spirit. So Janice Williams says that the Lord knows the plan we has for you, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you your expected end, an aha moment, your expected end for bless others. We are living our lives to be a blessing to others, especially in our testimonies. I totally agree, Queen. I totally agree. And that's why, when I started this process, it was and I'm talking about the process of the book fair. I was in, and I woke up and I said, book fair, go do it. And I immediately started doing it. And as you met Deontay, he was the very first ones that said, hey, I want to be on that project. And I was like, wow. And then real quickly, not slowly, but real quickly, people started coming in. And it's all about servicing. It's all about servicing our talents, servicing our gifts. And everybody has a gift. You don't have to figure it out. Your gift is yours. You don't have to, it could look like something else. You can be drawn to do something else, but nobody can be you. You're uniquely made. There's only one fingerprint that's attached to you. So when you figure that out, then you have to go for it. So I guess figuring that out and then realizing that, life is great. Life is absolutely wonderful. And that's why anytime somebody asks me, like, how are you? I am wonderful because I'm still here. I'm wonderful because I'm still here. Wonderful because I can add value to other people. Wonderful because I know that I'm paying attention to what my spirit caused me to do. So thank you so much for sharing this time with me. And Marcia, you're supposed to be back here in this room, not on that side of the of the world. You're supposed to be in here. I'm waiting on you, darling. Come on over. Come on over. So when Marcia gets over here, we're gonna go into her conversation and and hopefully, well, I already know you all are going to get some great nuggets, even from every time that you think something is bad, it's actually good. Every time there's always a lesson in everything that you do. Sometimes that lesson is for you to take care of yourself. Sometimes that lesson is for you to pay more attention. But there's always a lesson in everything that we do. And and I guess that's what's called perspective, right? Because with certain people, they can be so negative in that every time it's like, oh, bad things always happen to me, because that's their perspective of how they see life. But I see life as always a blessing. I see life as a blessing for everybody, even for in all my relationships. I see them as a blessing. Why? Because I choose to. Maybe there's something that I need to learn. Maybe something that I need to be taught. Maybe there's something that I need to let go. You ever been in that mind of, this is deja vu? I've been here before, because there's something that we hadn't learned. There's something that we need to there may be something that we're suppressing. But every single thing we do, there's a blessing and a lesson in it. And so I just thank God for you. I thank God for this platform. And of course I'm stalling, right? But since I am stalling, I'm going to just show you something. So Amber is a part of Wake Up Winning, the first one, and this is the first one right here. This is the original book with all of the authors in it, and so is Tiasha. And just a funny story about Tiasha, when she was like maybe like the last one, or a couple people from the last one of the project, and talking about pressing on, she sent me a picture of the money that was required to get on the project. And she said, I got the money, but I can't transfer it. And she sent me a picture. I said, well, I can't take the picture, but she was the most, and I always said that she was the most she was one of those people within this project that was going through the most upsets, but yet she just kept pressing. She just kept pressing. And because of this title, Wake Up Winning No Matter What, because losing is not an option. There's something, has to be an energy that burns inside of you that says, no matter what, I'm going to keep pressing. No matter what, I'm going to keep pushing. No matter what, I'm going to keep going. So every single time that something happened, and I remember, she would have car trouble, things would break down, lack of resources or whatever. She'd be like, I'm keeping pressing. I'm keep going. And I remember one time she was putting in her book order, and I said, well, Queen, you could just put in less book order. She's like, no, I want to put more. I want to order more books, not less books. But it was her determination to just keep on. And that's what she did. And still to this day, she is still one of the most pressing persons that I know, no matter what. No matter how many times you go through it, you just keep on coming back. And that's the spirit that we have to embody as a person that really walking by. I always tell people it's easy to walk by faith when everything's going good. But walk by faith when everything is upside down. Walk by faith when when your lights get cut off. I've had my lights cut off. I was once doing a business launch. And I'm telling y'all this, and then we're gonna move on real quick. See, things will happen. Things will come into play to test you with, do you really want that? One time I was starting a business, was launching a business, and my lights, I think it was my lights, something was off, y'all. Something was off. So I reached out to a friend and I said, hey, can I have my party at your house? She was like, sure. I brought a whole gang of people there. They were celebrating my business launch. And, of course, I said, this is the host. This is my friend. This is her home. Da, 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 da. They didn't know what I had been going through. Nobody hardly ever knows what I'm going through. And not to be secretive, but because that's not my focus. My focus is what I want to get done, not the obstacles. I don't focus on the obstacles. I focus on what I want to get done. So we had that launch. That launch was the business that I needed to grow my current business. Because at that time I was in real estate, and real estate market was going crazy, and my deals were falling apart. I was getting to the closing table and then the deal would fall apart. I was doing this and the deal was, everything was just really crazy. So I was like, you know what? I need an edge. And that's when I first started in broadcasting. I said, well, I'm gonna start my own show. And then I'm a show. And what that did was I just wanted it to set me apart from the other people that was in the business as bringing something extra. So I was able to reach to the community to say, hey, come on in here and talk about your business. As I showcased the property, I would show all of the things in the property, and we would probably do a lesson on like how to identify with a good home warranty, what a good home warranty looks like, or how to pick a good closing attorney, whatever it was. And I did that show. It's called Wanda DTV, Real Estate and More. And that's how I got into broadcasting, was from my life being turned upside down. So do not sit on your books trying to get it all together, because life never gets all together. It just comes together when we come together. So that's all I want to say about that. And I'm going to bring my guest on. Now, before I do that, I'm going to show you, let you know something. So this beautiful queen had reached out to me, and we have had a lovely conversation. This is her book, and she's going to come on. She has her book, but she sent me this book in the mail, and she sent me some other little beautiful things. She said that her poems, she has them laminated, and that they are in the funeral homes, and she puts them in there, and they give them out to the families and stuff. They're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful poems. She sent me 3 of them in there so I can put them on my desk. I wanted to show you all that. And before I bring her on here, even though she wasn't doing this for that, it was my birthday. And she said, I'm going to send you a book for your birthday. I said, okay, great. So she sent me this with a nice little bookmarker in it. And it's just so beautiful. And this one poem she had put my name on it. And I read it. And it was, it was just, I sat down and I read it. And I said, oh my goodness. And she reminds me of somebody. And, I don't want to cry, because everything always happens for a reason. But if I showed y'all a picture of somebody, you would be like, wow. So anyway, I'm going to bring her on, because I don't know where these emotions are coming from, but they are coming up in my spirit. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Miss Luella Kingston. Hi, Queen. How are you?
Hello, Queen. How are you?
You know
You're
what?
looking wonderful and doing such a remarkable job with all of us. Thank
Am
you.
I?
Thank God for you.
Thank you so much. You know what? Just talking about you makes me get really emotional. That is
Why?
something because I'm going to send you a picture of someone and then you'll know why. And I'm going to do that. But anyway, how are you doing
Okay.
today?
Wonderful, great, fantastic. I am overwhelmed. I just thank you, God, so much that I passed across. It's wonderful. God is an awesome God, for real.
Absolutely.
He
What
is
I'm gonna do
truly on.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move myself out of the way for a minute so you can talk to the people, so you can introduce yourself, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about life. We're gonna talk about this beautiful book of poetry that you have, and whatever else we are led to talk about.
Thank you, darling. Hello, everybody. I am Luella Kingston. I'm from Cuthbert, Georgia, a little place where 82 and 27 meets South Georgia. I've been in Atlanta since 1965. I have one daughter. Her name is Sonia Kingston, and she is so dear to me. I am a minister, I am a poetess, and I am an author of this wonderful book that she was showing.
It is such
This is the
a
book. And the title of it is The Perfect Gift to and for everybody is Jesus, expressed in poetry, inspiration for all occasions and situations.
Queen. We have a bad connection. I want to ask you to do something.
And
Uh-oh. Can y'all hear?
this
Um,
book
uh-oh.
title tells the story.
Okay. Queen, I'm going to okay, I'm gonna let her come back in because that's not gonna be good. Let me see.
Can judge.
Miss Kingston.
Is
Miss
this book?
Kingston. Miss Kingston. Hello. Hello. Okay, let's see if she can log back in. Because now I got myself together. So yeah, well, she was reading you the full title of her book. It was so funny because she said, my daughter said that title was too long. She said, well, that's the title Jesus gave me, so you gotta take that up with Jesus. And the full title is in expressed in poetries of inspiration for all occasions and situations. So the full title is The Perfect Gift to and for Everybody, expressed in poetry of inspiration for all occasions and situations. That's this book. Hopefully we'll be able to continue our conversation. That's the problem when you are streaming. Sometimes you have good signal, sometimes you don't. But definitely I got myself together now. That was quite emotional, I guess, because I was talking about them ancestors. She looks just like my great grandmother to the T. And when y'all see her picture, you'll be like, oh, okay. But are y'all enjoying yourself? Because I was messed up in the head for a minute. Are y'all enjoying yourself? I gotta shift. I gotta get it together. Tiasha, no, I'm going to do something in. You can look in another message because no, the answer to your question was no. That's not the right link. You want to have it in a way. What are y'all? Are you all enjoying yourself? Yeah. Let's see here. What's nope, that's not right. So while I have this captivated audience, let me tell you about some other things that's going on that you might want to take advantage of. So I am currently, there we go. So if you're in the Atlanta area and you sell products or anything like that, I got a opportunity for you to be a vendor, and the vending fees is $40. And if you're interested, then let me know because it is a limited amount of vendors. We do not need a paparazzi. That's gone. But there we go. So I sent that to you, Tiasha. So we do, so if you're interested in the opportunity to vend, then let me know. It's at a fashion show, and you'll be able to also tell people about, you have like 1 or 2 minutes to just talk about your products. Not a lot, but at least that time to talk about your products. And that event is July the 11th. Yeah, July the 11th. So if you're interested in that, just send me an email to I am enough talkshow@gmail.com. That's the best way to do it, and say I'm interested in vending for that event. and what else? And then on the 20th of this month, I'll be hosting the Purple Carpet Award for the Who's Who Black Power Love Gala. And it is going to be beautiful. I think it starts about 4 o'clock. You can go on Eventbrite and find tickets for that if you're in the Atlanta area. So that's an event that we have coming up. So if you're interested in that, just go and, come on and be a part of that. And we're going to continue our discussions with our authors. So if you're a new author or an old author, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to come in and talk about your books on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. So you'll be able to take up a seat in there and talk about that. And we're about to restart our Women in Business segment, which if you have a business, you can be an author and have a business, or you can just, whatever. But this is just for women. The author platform is for, doesn't matter, women, men, chick, doesn't matter who they are. But with the Women in Business section, that's very dear to my heart because I'm talking to women and we're basically talking about our businesses, but not just about our business. We're talking about life, how we manage in life, how life is managing us, just different things that we're talking about in that space as well. So if you're interested in any of those things, the easiest way to do it is just send an email to the I Am Enough Talk Show and see if you can, see which one of those platforms you want to get on. So I'm going to see if she's going to come back in with a better signal. I just hate that. That's the part I dislike the most about the technology spaces. You can't fight with these signals when they happen, when it happens, it happens. So can't fight with that. But that's why I call on backup. I gotta have backup. Yeah. So I got backup.
Hey.
What's up, Queen Bee?
Hey. How y'all doing, everybody?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You doing
really
good?
Yes.
All right. Well, you looking fabulous. Your smile is bright and pretty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you see me over here breaking down?
I did, Queen. You had me crying. I'm just a sponge.
I'm
I
sorry.
I cry. I don't know. But I understand because whenever you talk about the ancestors, you know how I feel about that. And it's amazing. But at the same time, you know how you just miss them,
Yeah, and it wasn't that. I think I don't know. It's just that, that connection. But you know what? She's back on. So let me see if we can make this happen. Hold on. Let me see. Hey, Dr. Devin. I love it when people are in the green room. Okay, Queen, you back?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Tiash, I'm gonna move you out the way for just a second. Okay, so talk to me. It was really, really choppy. I want to see if it's better now. There you go. Yep, raise up your camera a little bit. So tell me, where are you? Did you say Columbus?
Cuthbert, down below Columbus.
Oh, okay, down below Columbus. Okay, great. And you said you're also a minister, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Of the Greater Springfield Baptist Church, I'm an associate minister there, where the Reverend Tracy B. Will is the pastor. 721 Jones Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. So that's in Atlanta, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I've been here since 1965.
1965. So were you
quite a
born down in
while.
that little town in Columbus?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
I'm local numbers. Uh-huh.
Okay, awesome. So and it seems like it's a little bit better this time. So I hope that we can chat for a second. So first I want to just say thank you so much for being a part of our book fair. Have you enjoyed it so far?
Yes, I have. I truly have. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part and for doing the job that you're doing that's blessing so many people. And you will be blessed as well. You are planting good seeds and you're going to have a great harvest.
Well, thank you. I accept. I accept. So tell us about your book. What inspired you to write this beautiful book? I was letting everybody know before you tell them that. I was letting everybody know when you was telling me, when we talked about the title in the first time and you said that your daughter said, "Mom, that title is just too long." And you said, "Well, that's the title Jesus gave me. So until he tell me to change
That's
it."
right. Talk to him. Talk to him. Don't talk to me about it.
That's what you
Well,
said.
Queen, before I had anything to write about, I fell in love with writing because my mom had such a beautiful penmanship, and I would just practice writing letters, alphabet, to try to make mine look like hers. So I
Mm.
fell in love with writing by doing that. And I did since I can remember, trying to make letters look like my mom's letters. So after doing that, and after I had gotten grown, I started fasting and praying in the early 80s for the Lord to give me something to write. I was writing songs before I was writing poetry.
Mm-hmm.
He did. I challenge anybody to fast and pray. And if you are a vessel of God and want God to use you, He will. I'm a witness to
Mm-hmm.
that. So after falling in love with writing, after fasting and praying, God gave me something to write. And I appreciate it. I love it. I enjoy it. So I had written quite a few songs, and we did sing some of them. I formed a group, and we did sing quite a few of them for a while, but that didn't work out the way I wanted it to, so I stopped. And I was elected vice president of my choir about the mid 80s. And I went home depressed, upset, half crazy, because back then I had somewhat of a personality where I would say things that I shouldn't say.
Mm-hmm.
Had to grow a lot. So when I prayed and prayed and prayed, because I didn't want to hurt anybody. So my first poem came in the form of a prayer. That prayer that I prayed is the first prayer in the book. That was my first poem. And it has blessed me
Wow.
and a whole lot of other people. And it
Mm-hmm.
went from there to just writing poems, and I just love it. I
And you say
love
you
it.
were writing music too, though. That had to been
Yes,
interesting.
yes. So the songs that I had written earlier are also part of the book. So I revised them and included them in the book.
Oh,
So
okay.
some of the poems in the book are lyrics for songs.
Mm-hmm. And you know what I find fascinating is your title. I really love your title. In this world that we live in, they always tell us to pick a side, choose it, make it, like niche it out or whatever. But your book, just this whole, and I just need to read this title again: The Perfect Gift to and for Everybody, expressed in poetry of inspiration for all occasions and situations. You don't
You
leave
left out something,
anything.
Wanda.
Jesus
You left out
is
something.
Jesus. What did I
Is
leave out?
Jesus.
Is Jesus
Perfect.
right?
Is to
Expressed
and for
in.
everybody is Jesus.
Expressed
And it's
in
expressed in poetry of inspiration for all occasions
all
and
occasions and
situations.
situations. Yes. And I just find that that's just so complete.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It
So
is
now
very,
how much,
it,
go ahead, what'd you say?
how much? It,
I
it,
said how.
it is complete.
Mm-hmm.
What was you saying, Wanda?
I was asking how much writing do you do now? Do you still write like every day, all the time?
No, I write periodically, and what I'm trying to do is perfect the book. Each time I go to press for printing, I have changed something in the book that is different from the last printing that I had. So I'm
Okay.
trying to perfect this book. I've worked on this book for 35, almost 40 years. So it's one book for me. A lot of people got a lot of books. One book for me in 40 years in one book. Just one book.
Wow. So how many
That's
times
it.
have you revised it?
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe God has even lost count on that.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Everything on it. Wow. So every time you go, you like, okay, I'm doing some updates here.
It's, right, right.
Right. So when somebody want the book,
And
what should they do? Should they email you or should they
email me, yes. Email me.
okay.
And my email is luellakingston@yahoo.com.
At
All
Yahoo. Okay.
lowercase.
Okay. I'm gonna have to add that in because I don't have that. I
Yahoo.com.
have your website, but you said your website, is it still under construction?
Right, it is under construction right now.
Okay. I'm gonna add your
Ma'am.
website. Tiasha, if you could just type her website down so I could just grab it. So what do you do now? I mean, you're retired now. Well,
Yes, ma'am. I'm
okay.
retired and I appear periodically I get people who and I will this
That was from who? From I can't see it.
that I told you that you may have seen some of these at the funeral homes
Right,
because
right.
this is what I give to people. It's framed. The other ones that you held up, those are just poems. But when I give something, it's in this form.
Okay. That's nice. That's nice. And I want to thank you too for sharing. You're always sharing our information when we go live. You always coming in, participating. I really appreciate you for that. You do a lot of marketing and you
Of
don't even
course.
be knowing you're doing a lot of marketing.
If I find out something good, I want to share it with everybody. Because
Mm,
I'm just so glad that our paths cross and I want to share it with other people because I feel like this is something good. You are such a wonderful spirit. And there are a
thank
lot of
you.
people that need you for different reasons.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. I was Do I have it right? Yeah, I think I have it right now. So I appreciate you for saying that. And I feel the same way about you and in your book. And just thank you so much for the gifts that you sent me for my birthday and just everything like that. I really thank you for that. And I put down your email so you all can go and send her an email and then she'll send you out a nice autographed copy. And so what is it that you do like on your typical day? What do you have going on? Are you out now
A
since the
typical
COVID
day.
is lifted a little bit?
I go out every once in a while. I'm basically in. If I have to go out, I go out. But if not, I still stay in because I'm still afraid of it. I've had my shot. I'm still afraid. And I basically stay home.
Okay.
Since I don't have to go out, I stay home.
Were you looking amazing? Say that again.
When you go out, I have my bookmark. You go out, I wear t-shirts with my book on it, and I have bookmarkers with a poem on the back that I give to people and try to encourage people.
So you do a lot of encouraging and spreading your word around and letting people know how Jesus love them and all this other kind of stuff. And you do it everywhere. You said everywhere you go, you always passing out bookmarkers.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
such a blessing.
Yes, ma'am. I want people to know that God loves them. He is wonderful. And if you don't know, to get to know him. Yes, ma'am, I do.
That's beautiful.
Phone calls and all. I'm all about Jesus and God. Lifting Jesus up and giving God the glory. That's what I'm all about.
All right. Amen. We'll have to talk further, like on the phone.
You
we'll have to
remind
talk
me
more
so
on the phone.
In so many ways. You
I
remind
do
me of
how?
myself in a lot of ways.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
You are open, you are helpful, you want to bring out the best in people. I want to bring out the best in people. You remind me of myself, and I call people king and queen all of the time. That's what they know me for at church. Wow. I encourage people. I lift them up.
Wow.
Those beautiful. Are my words.
Yeah, mine too. Mine too.
I know.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. That's authentic. Did you say you only have one daughter? You say you had one daughter?
One daughter.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
One daughter.
That's something
and else. She is responsible for me getting on this because I don't know anything about technology at all.
Well,
nothing.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
That's good. I'm so glad.
I appreciate you. And I got my sometime. I've got to you.
You got to say that again. Say that again.
I've got to put my hands on you. I've got to touch you.
Oh yeah.
Sometime.
Okay. Yes. Well, I'm gonna make it happen. My friend is not far from you, so I gotta come down there and I gotta come to you, because
you live in Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta.
Oh yeah. We can make it happen.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen. We ain't gonna talk about it. We're gonna be about it. Yeah.
All right.
So I'm gonna call you on the phone because this internet is just really choppy. So I'm gonna call you soon. And again, y'all support the queen. Go and get her book. I mean, send her an email. Okay, that's what we do. We old school. Yeah. We send in an email. She gonna send you this lovely book. And I just want to share. I want to share with them the poem that you had specifically put for me to read. Can I share that with everybody?
Sure.
Okay. It says it was chapter 5. For inspiration, situation, edification, comfort, information, observation, elevation, thought provoking, and to lift Jesus up. Wanda D. Hollis. Love yourself. You are a gift from God to you. This is what I want for you. You see, It is that you be the very best, be the very best you that you can possibly be. Sorry, my eyeballs ain't that good. So accept the you, the God gave you, created to do what only you can do, created just to be the one and only you. Love that gift. Thanks and praise God too, since you are the only one who is just like you. Don't main trying to mold to be like others created to and see. It is slavery to you, and you can be free to do and to be whom that and what God wants you to do and be. If God would have wanted two of you, this he would have created as only our creator God could do. Don't demand that anyone else try to be like you. Everyone is special, uniquely and wonderfully created by God and for his use too. We are all his created and chosen vessels for him to bless and draw others through. So allow your creator God to serve, to save, deliver, cleanse, shape, mold, teach, and use you too. Submit your life to God. Give him full control. Permit God's master plan for you to unfold. Then you can stand up for God, be true and bold, righteous in Jesus Christ, and until God be sold. For if you love yourself as God has made you, you will love your creator God and all others too. Thank you. I appreciate you
Thank you, Wanda. Thank you. And
so much.
all that, I have a happy Father's Day that will be posted on Facebook.
Okay.
All of the fathers for Father's Day.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll be sure to share
My
that.
time is up.
We'll share that in the
Yeah,
we'll share that in the
on Facebook.
in our pages too. We'll share that in all our pages.
Okay.
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 Well, I thank you so much and I appreciate you. And I'll be calling you and we'll be talking and we'll be getting together soon to have lunch.
Thank you.
Okay.
In
Thank you.
God's perfect hands, may you have God's perfect soul around, just hugging you. In the name of Jesus, I pray.
I got my hug. Thank you. I love you.
Love you too. God bless. Thank everybody.
That's for everybody. Amen. Oh, I tell you, I'm over here on cloud nine. All right. So, was that not wonderful? Was that not beautiful? Let's bring on Dr. Devin so she can tell us what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? I tell you what's going on. Hello, Doc. What's going on, Queen?
Hey, how are you?
I am wonderful. When I tell you I'm on top of the world, I'm on cloud 99. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Well, you looking amazing. I love that smile. Looks good on you.
Thank you.
Yes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move out the way so you can tell people about who's to say, not give them all the beans, but just more or less introduce yourself to everybody. And then I'll come back and we'll talk further about who's to say.
Okay. Oh, I see my name is misspelled. It's
I'll fix it. It's a D. It's a VEN, right? Uh-oh.
You're frozen. Okay, now I can see you. Your picture went away for a second. Okay, well, before my name is Intl. I am so happy to be here today. I'm a mom and wife, and my background is in foreign language education, so I've been a teacher going through me, and I'm excited to be here to talk about my first book in my series called the Amazingly Affirmed Children's Book Series. My book is called Who's to Say, and it is just a book of positive affirmations for kids and adults too. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys today and talking a little bit more about it.
Okay, I'm back. It's we have some technical if difficulties for some reason. So make sure I'm spelling your name correctly. Give me the correct spelling, or you can even put it in the private chat, or you could just tell me because you said it was
It's
misspelled.
It's Deven, like seven,
E.
but with the D.
Okay, so two E's, correct?
No, ma'am. It's two E's. Deven.
Two E's.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. I got it. All righty. So, where are you from?
I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, is that where you are now?
Yes.
Okay, good. And when you were talking, I don't know, it was like this crazy sound, and it was like it was like going super fast. Yeah. So you mind repeating that? You said something. I heard children, but I couldn't. It was going rapidly fast.
Oh, wow. It wasn't that way on my end at all. Okay, I don't mind repeating myself. I just basically said that this is the first book in my children's book series, and the children's book series is called the Amazingly Affirmed Children's Book Series.
Okay.
So it's the first of 3 books, and I'm excited to share it. So Who's to Say is the first one, and I've got 2 more coming up along in the same wavelength of positivity, self-awareness, being your own cheerleader type of message. And
awesome.
That's what I'm here to talk about.
Do you hold the book up in the picture screen so we can see it?
Let me hold it up for you guys. I hope it doesn't show backwards like some cameras do, but
nope.
And my light will make.
Yep, that's it. So move it over just a little bit. Okay, right. That's it. So where did you get your inspiration at to start writing?
So I've always been a writer, and for as long as I can remember, I've been writing, but this is kind of my first effort in sharing my writing, if that makes sense. My writing has always been sort of for me, even from an early age, just always making storybooks, writing for the school newspaper or the literary magazine, but I never really thought of it as a platform, so to speak. And just kind of recently here, with the lockdown time, I just kind of decided to try to tap back into something that always felt like home to me or was a familiar place for myself, and just started writing down some thoughts, thinking about former students, thinking about things that I want my kids to know, things that I want to remind myself of, given the times that we're experiencing right now. And that's kind of how this unfolded.
And it's amazing because a lot of books were being written during this COVID season. A lot of people, like I would say over 50% of the people that I have talked to are first-time authors, and it was from them saying, okay, we're in this season, I can complete it.
Yeah, I totally believe that. This whole pandemic and everything that's been going on kind of forced us to slow down a little bit, and working people, being moms, Black women in general, wear a lot of hats, so it was a good excuse to just kind of sit still for a moment and try to reconnect with those things that you maybe once had a great connection with, but had to put on the back burner for whatever reason.
Right, exactly. So I saw the 2 characters on the books. Who is that? Is that in reference to your children?
Yes, the 2 characters are my son and daughter. So the illustrator that I work with for this book has been awesome. Her name is Courtney Monday, and I really wanted my kids to be able to see themselves in the book. Representation matters at this point. So I wanted them first to be able to see themselves in the book, but I also wanted to write it in such a way that anybody could see themselves related to those characters. So I was able to give her a couple of favorite pictures of my kids. My son is 12, my daughter's 8. And she did a great job capturing their essence and the characters throughout the book. And they will be appearing again in the second and third book. So it's been exciting.
That's nice. And that is such a, someone mentioned that they loved your book cover. It's a really nice book cover. So who's to say? Talk to us about that. Who are we talking to?
You know, we're talking to, first of all, the kids. You know, I had my former students and my children in mind, but the more that I've shared it with classrooms and just different people, it speaks to adults too. I get a little reminder every time I read it as well. So it's anyone who needs a boost or that reminder, or either that foundation in starting positive thinking, encouraging yourself, being your biggest cheerleader, not letting what someone else says to hold you back. So who's to say is reminding you that you're the one to say. You can say what you can or can't do. It's the words of someone else that's going to hold you back. It's your words and your thoughts.
So as you were growing up, do you feel like it wasn't enough representation for people that look like you, for girls of, you know, little brown girls?
My sister and I went to private school, and you know, that really wasn't a thing when we were kids, and you know, we were the onlys for a long time. And you know, I guess just how kids are raised, we really didn't think anything of it, but it mattered the older we got, and we started to realize what those dynamics meant and how they could or could not play out. So certainly I do agree with representation being lacking in my childhood, but my parents always tried to balance that. You know, they wanted us to have a good education, and they put us where we needed to be, where they thought we needed to be in order to be the most successful. But they also made sure that they exposed us to a lot of different activities with diverse populations, so that we could see all that we could see and know that there was more of a world out there than what we had been experiencing or what they experienced.
Okay. So what type of work did your parents do?
So my mom is an educator also for Birmingham City Schools, and her background is in fine arts and music. So that's her realm. And my father is an engineer for what used to be called Bell South, we know as AT&T. So he retired from there, and now he's an attorney. So he's on his second career.
Okay, that's interesting. So so definitely I'm sure they kept you inspired to, you know, be achievers.
Absolutely. They are
Yeah,
lifelong learners.
right.
My dad was in law school when I was in high school. My mom and I actually got our doctorates together. And my sister went to law school. So we're definitely a family of learners.
And in as far as you said, this is your first, you're doing a 3-part series. And are you what else comes with the book? There's a little.
So the plan is I have this first book called Who's to Say, and the second book is called Always Be the Light. It's in the very final stages before I can release it. So that'll be on the heels of this one. And the third book is called Good News, We Need More of It. So just really harping on that note of positivity, self-awareness, and being confident in your gifts and who you were created to be, and how you can impact the world in that matter. I've been brainstorming, you know, maybe doing a coloring and activity book to go with this, along with maybe even a teacher's guide, just because I believe this would be something great to share with schools and get into different classrooms. So just to make it more accessible is kind of my goal, so we can share this message.
That's nice. Because, you know, I really think that in schools, they don't, where you got all those wonderful minds that you can mold, and you never know what kid isn't getting that inspiration at home.
Right.
So, well, shouldn't it, do you think that they should really like create a affirmative course, an affirmation time where, like to develop these self-awareness skill sets?
I think that's an awesome idea. Now that you mention it, it's a big right now in education, a big component that people are harping on and sending teachers to train on is it social and emotional learning or social and
Mm-hmm.
emotional awareness. Because studies are showing that if you don't meet those needs first, then everything else is a waste.
Right.
If you
Right.
don't teach children how to become self-aware, how to read the emotions and expressions of other people and interact in a way that's healthy and positive with their peers. All of those things, if you don't fill up those cups first, then you're going to have an uphill battle with as
Right.
far as teaching them the core subjects and all of that stuff. So I think that the focus should definitely shift to that. It's on its way, but we're kind of times. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it would be great to, have books like mine, or, there are lots of other great resources out there to incorporate into daily classroom structure. If it's not a course that you send the teachers on to take, maybe have the teachers carve out a little time in their day just to tap into that component of education, because
Right.
it's very important.
Yeah, I totally agree. I had the pleasure of homeschooling my grandson, and one thing I would always do, I'm a confidence builder, so he would be talking to himself. He's like, "Okay, just take the test and do your best." So that was our
Oh, I
little
love it.
slogan, like just take the test and do your best. I said, just take the test, grandson. If it's not where you want it to be, you got room to improve on the next test.
Absolutely.
So then he would get out of his head and not, just take it with confidence. And he would be over there talking because my desk was we were back to back. I wanted him in
Mhm.
the same space. And
I love that.
and
That's
so
so
like,
important. That,
yeah.
and that is really the basis of my book, positive self talk. And a lot of
Mhm.
us out here weren't necessarily taught that. And if you become a mom or a dad, you don't know to pass that on to your kids. And then so the cycle continues. So
Yeah. Yeah.
this was written as a reminder for those of us who did have parents that poured into us about positive self talk. Mine did. But
Mhm.
once you get to be an adult, sometimes you get knocked around and you forget some of that stuff, and you begin to
Exactly.
second guess, like, why am I here? And can I do this really? I'm not so sure. So
Right.
I wrote that with this in mind, and also just as a reminder for parents to encourage their kids and model for their kids. This is what
Mhm.
you should do to be ahead of the game. Mind over matter.
Mhm. Mhm. Wonderful. Now, do you do any type of readings for the book? Like
I
social
do.
media?
Well, I have participated in some readings on social media. Just kind of anything that crossed my path. I'm author groups on Facebook, so I try to stay on top of things
Mhm.
that some of the authors are doing. There are lots of great platforms out there, and I try to jump on as many as I can. I've read at a few schools. I've been in touch with some libraries, just kind of trying to get all those logistical things in order. But I always welcome the opportunity to read and share with a class or an organization, because it's fun. It's fun to
Yeah.
interact with people and get their perspective on the book.
Mhm. Mhm. Are you most active on like Instagram or Facebook, or which
I
which social media?
I'm trying to beef up my Instagram game. It has a learning curve that I just
It does.
I am really trying my best, because I know a lot of people have kind of moved over there. The people that were on Facebook have kind of moved over to Instagram. So I'm really trying. I'm on Instagram. I have two Instagram handles that I try to manage, and it's coming along. But I would say my
Okay.
home base is still
It's
on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm just trying to be as present as I can in all of those different platforms. So work in progress.
Mhm. Mhm. And now the new thing is TikTok.
Oh
That's where
goodness.
they're going on there. And there's a market. My friend always say there's a market for everybody. You just gotta, you know, do what
You
you do.
just have to, yeah, and you have to figure out how that works. I have several friends who own businesses that are, tapping into the TikTok market, and even some of my author friends, just getting on there doing something as simple as flipping through your book or having a kid doing a cute dance with your book. Be
Right.
surprised how many little, whatever they're called on TikTok, followers or,
And you could do reading, just some suggestions for like the kids. You can set up this whole little marketing campaign where you just open your book and you like talk time, with Dr. T or whatever, and just one affirmation a day or something, just something.
Well, that's an
Just
idea.
one little drop a day, and then and you're out of there. So it's not a lot, but it's making your presence be known.
Yeah, that's definitely up my alley as far as making it short and sweet, because I tend to be number one, nervous about recording myself, and number two, I'm a thinker first, so I can over process things at times. So if I like on Facebook, even writing posts or anything like that, I'm that person that's always gonna go back and revise it or say, how is this really taking? Let me go back and do it. And then by that time, it's 5 hours has passed, and I've missed my window for putting the post up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to find a happy medium some kind of way so I can just get out there and throw caution to the wind and just do it, because people seem to like it when you're just happen to flip on your camera and say a few words and
and that's it. And it's so there's so much activity in social media, so you almost need to find your foothold, so to speak, and then just be consistent. So even if it was 2 days a week on Mondays and Wednesdays, and just do those 2 days, Mondays and Wednesdays, just be consistent with that. It could be 3 minutes with Dr. T on Mondays and Wednesdays.
I'm gonna hold you to that, hold myself to that, because I really do have to do better. I want to, but again, I get in my own way.
I'm sure
when it comes to that sort of thing. I really do.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But it's okay, because we can move out of our way. And one thing's for sure is you made it out of your way to finish your book.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Right?
Yeah,
So
I did.
you and a lot of people don't make it out of their way long enough to complete the book. So you're ahead of the game for sure. So what and what's the best way to purchase the book? Is that through Amazon, or should they go somewhere else?
Well,
to your website.
I do have an author website, so you can purchase the book there if you're interested in a bulk order. There's a slight discount if you go through my website for that, or if you want an autographed copy.
Okay.
A great place to go would be my author website. But everybody pretty much has an Amazon, so they're found there as well.
Yeah. So, well, we want to tell them where you would prefer them go. So you would prefer them go to your website.
I would.
Okay, great. And what would you say? What kind of advice would you give to somebody that's, sitting on the fence about completing their book?
Oh, wow. I'd say just do it. As we said a few minutes ago, get out of your own way.
Get out of your own way.
And one thing that I've learned is that it ended up being something that was bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to delay that any longer. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got something worthy of sharing. So get off of the fence and just finish what you started. And it'll, the rewards will be great.
That's great. That's great. I love it. And lastly, can you leave our viewers with one word, one power word? What would that word be?
Ooh, one power word. I would say resilience is my power word. And that kind of stems from my book. It kind of stems from what we were talking about today. Positive self-talk, self-confidence, believing in yourself, trying new things, and the mindset to be able to pivot if things don't go your way. When you have that solid foundation within, that you're enough and that you're worthy, you won't seek validation from anyone else, And if you get knocked down, it's okay. You're going to get right back up. You're going to become resilient because you think that much of
Absolutely.
yourself and you know your abilities. And if you don't
Absolutely.
get there the first time, you know that you'll have another time to try again. So
Mm-hmm.
resilience is my word.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hold 1 second. Hold on. A minute. So I want to just say I applaud you. I thank you so much for coming in, for sharing that information. We have another, our last author. She's in the back, so we're going to bring her up and just continue to do what you're doing. If anything we can do to help you, to help you get out your way, we can help you in this space of of media, but your information is so valuable, it's so needed. And I love and appreciate what you're doing, because I totally believe that if we can pour into the spirit of confidence, building up this confidence within our children, then they can make better choices as they grow and become adults.
Absolutely.
So I applaud you for what you're doing, and we'll be getting your book. And then when your next book come out, come back on and let's talk about it.
I'd love to. I'd love to.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. This has been
for
fun.
coming on today. Thank you. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to support our authors. I want to again thank everybody for coming on today and taking out time of your schedule. I'm looking for something, y'all. If I seem distracted, it's because I am trying to find something. So we're going to be wrapping up here real soon. I just want to take a quick, short snapshot break. And then when I come back, I'm going to bring up Miss Marcia. And she's going to talk about her book. Okay. All righty.
Available at Christian bookstores and online. Purchase it today.
And that is Miss Marcia's book right there. Hello, beautiful. How you doing today? You are muted. Let's see. Unmute your mic.
Doing good.
Doing good. Well, great. I'm glad to see you.
Yes, I'm glad to see you too. Been watching you all morning.
Oh, wow. Okay. So did you see me crying?
I mean, you know,
Sadly.
yeah.
I thought I had covered that up.
You are such a wonderful person. I fell in love with you back when, a few years ago. So I just kept watching Wanda, all this
So
time.
what you're trying to tell me is you've been watching me cry for a long time.
No. I'm watching you do your interviews and talking to various people, even authors and stuff. And then now you've opened up this platform. I mean, you could have been, if you were the selfish type of person, you could have just been advertise your own book. I never thought, but I knew there was something about you I liked.
Oh, thank
You're
you
so
so
sweet.
much. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move out of the way for a little bit, just for a quick minute, minute, 2 minutes, so you can tell people more about who Marcia is, and then when I come back, we're gonna talk about your beautiful book here. Okay?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Hi, everyone. So I am Marcia Ebanks Smith. I'm a nurse, author, realtor, a mother, wife. And so, I'm, okay, so I started out writing this book, Repent, a Trumpet Call. I found, and first of all, just wanted to backtrack a little bit and tell Wanda, thank you for having me on, because, and thank you for opening up this door of opportunity for all of us authors to come on and just really, you know, put our books out there, because the message that I have is more of an inspirational message. So I would say my one of my things to say is that I am not really an author. I think God just called me and put me in that space. I'm also a minister, an ordained minister, and I felt like I was called to write this book, and so there I have written the book. I felt like it wasn't something that I had to say for me, but I felt the responsibility of completing this message and actually getting it produced for the people to hear the message that's in this book. So I'm not here to really promote myself so much, but to promote the word that God has put in me to send for his people.
That is so beautiful, Marcia, and I really appreciate all your kind words towards me, because I'm just trying to just do what I'm supposed to do while I'm here in
Yes.
this short time on the planet. And
Hmm.
one thing I just strongly feel like, I want everybody to win in such a way to wherever we're doing, I just want it to be a good thing, So that's why we do what we do. That's why we're in this space here. Where are you from, or where you live now? You're in Atlanta now, right? You live
Yes,
in
yes, yes. Yes, right here in the hot Atlanta.
Hotlanta. It ain't that hot though, I don't think now. I don't know what's going on with this Hotlanta weather, but okay. And originally, where are you from?
Well, was born in Jamaica, West Indies,
Okay.
and came to the United States when in my early teen years. I think
Okay.
I was, yeah. And so um, here I am. I mean, that this accent, it's not going anywhere.
I love your accent. So talk to me about now you said you were a nurse. So are you still nursing? Are you still in the nursing
Um,
profession?
I don't work in the profession anymore, but I've served in the area of medical surgical nursing for
Okay.
more than 20 years. Yes, and so I love to serve people. That space of caring, that
Mm-hmm.
is, that was a such a powerful thing for me to do. But later on, I decided that I wanted, after my daughter was born, I kind of
Mm-hmm.
slowed down into that from that profession, because it was not so much conducive for me to, the nursing hours did
Mm-hmm.
not match my child.
Trying to raise your baby.
Yes, yes, and doing
Yeah.
all of that. Yes.
And so are you a full-time in real estate?
Um, yes, I'm a realtor. I'm full, what would you say now? Like full time in real estate, and I'm home now mostly with my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
because she, they're out of school because of the what's been happening. So she had been doing the virtual, and also have to give an eye on her because she needs some special care as well. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and then I do my real estate. So yes, I serve the community in my capacity as realtor, and I help people to find their dream home. I help homeowners who are trying to sell, investors, people who are trying to invest. So the range is, because so many of us think that we cannot own, but I'm here to help in that space as well. And as you know, I'm a minister, so I do go out and do my voluntary work when we could,
Mm-hmm.
going to assisted living facilities and reading to the elderly, reading the Bible, and just encouraging them, and so on. Me and my husband and my daughter, we do this like on Sundays for to our
So you
in
go
our
out in the
community.
community and
Yes,
read. That's beautiful.
yeah.
Um, have you do you feel any type of, I don't know, I guess strain since COVID and you wasn't able to go out in the community ministering like you y'all had been in the past? Did you feel like a void within the?
Yes, it's particularly hard because now I feel like it's a good thing though that I felt like the book that the Lord put in my spirit to write, the repent, a trumpet call. I felt like I could not have gone out there and do more, but so what I've done was to um I have a Facebook page and
Mhm.
a group that I, go in there, and I put out scriptures, and I also make little videos, and whenever the Lord speak to my spirit in my prayer time, and feel like I'm getting messages from the Lord, then I would put it out there on a video, or just try to talk to the people, because the message that is in the book Repent, a Trumpet Call, it is, as you know, it's telling people to repent. And the trumpet call is actually when somebody is blowing a trumpet. You're blowing the trumpet in Zion, blowing a trumpet out like you're shouting to somebody, trying to get their attention. So if we're trying to get their people's attention so that they can, what are we repenting for? Some might be like, well, what am I repenting for? But we have to humble ourselves. And if God, that was one of the message that when Jesus came to the earth, that's what he brought, and John the Baptist, and even in the Old Testament, that is one of the big message in there. And it's interesting that God would put that in my spirit to put out there to his people.
Hmm. How long did when did you finish the book? When did
It
it
um
it came out when?
August of
August.
2018. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And had you worked on it for a long time?
You know, I, when you say a long time, I think it probably was in my spirit about 2 years before, and
Okay.
I got started writing, and then I get these inspiration. I felt like I wasn't the type of writer that would just get up and write, unless I had the inspiration like I was. So that's what I did. I waited on inspiration. And also, because I felt like it was definitely a message from the Lord. So I waited on the anointing when I was under that special anointing to write. So the book is very anointed. It has messages for God's people. It's it's a very easy to read book, and whatever God is saying to his people, he made sure that it is said in a very succinct way. It's not written with big words to, get people confused. And it's the type, the type in the book, the size of the print is comfortable read. That's a large read, so you can actually sit down and read that book within a few hours or 2 days. Or but sometimes many people have said to me that pastors have said to me that they have when they try, it's quick to read in like a day or two, but then God had them like to just kind of not rush through the book, but he dealt with them as they read it. Yes, that's
Good,
the,
good,
the
good.
feedback I've gotten. Yes.
So are you working on another book?
Currently, I have many. There are many subject matters that I feel like God has been deal with me to put forth, but I have not seriously sat down to do this. But I've known things about the area of love, and the area of just faith and things to do with the Lord and the messages. But currently I feel like God is not done with me yet as far as this book, Repent, a Trumpet Call. I feel like there's more to it than just writing it and just running off. That God is wanting this book. This is a permanent message, it is a fixed message, and it is a message that must go forth in the name of Jesus. So it's just what it is what it is. And I don't really have the control over it to say, well, I am going to stop, with promoting this book and run on to the next topic, because God is not done with me yet as far as. And one other thing that keeps coming up in my spirit is that I need to go out there and teach. What I was told in my spirit is that I'm supposed to teach what is ever is written in that book. I'm supposed to run with the book and take it to places, because the book is you could use it for evangelization purposes. You could use it for gifts. You could use it to bring people to the Lord. It has salvation prayer. It has very powerful subject matters. There are messages in there. This book itself is a message, but there are messages in the book itself, prophetic messages that people need to read. And since it's a message that was so inspired, I would encourage everyone to get a copy and just give it as a gift, but first read it for yourself. And sometimes when people hear the word repent, they feel like almost like a rebuke, like, how many times am I going to repent? And like the name of the book, people tend to be like a little defensive. But just don't be defensive, because if God did not love us, if he did not care for us, then he would not be telling us to repent. You see, it is God's mercy. So my word, the word that I have, if you would ask me, that would fit this conversation, is God's mercy. And it is God's mercy and his grace why he sent such a word to our nation, because 2020 came by, we saw what happened. It was a time of open vision for us to look and to introspect and to see the condition that we are living in, that are the people around us. So nations and peoples are being tested and so on. That was when the blinders were taken off of our eyes. It was that vision of, oh my God, look what is happening around us. So God is speaking loud and clear, and yes, and this word about repent, and it's a trumpet call, and it's a trumpet. A trumpet can also be sounding an alarm, a warning, some type of thing like that.
Right, right. Well, you're getting a lot of positive comments from inside of the groups. They said they love the title and the message, and so you know, so that's a good that's a good thing. But so what's the best way? Is the best way to for them to purchase the book? Is that through Amazon or to go through?
Amazon, they can to get autographed copy. They can send me an email, go to my Facebook page and contact me. They could email me. They could. It's on barnesandnobles.com. I've seen it online at so many other places. But I know for me,
What's the best email for you, Marcia?
it is repentinfo at gmail.com.
Okay, I'm gonna add that to your post here.
Yes.
Okay, and hold on one second. Hint info at Gmail. Okay, I think I got it right. So what would you you said I was asking you what's next, and you were saying basically you're gonna just do some more ministry with the book, using the book as a tool, getting it out to more people so then they can do the same. Did you ever think about like creating a workbook to go along with your book?
Yes, there's a lot that I could do with this, and if you know of how I could get that started, that would be a great conversation that we could have. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, what would you like to leave people with? What's the message that you would like to leave our viewers with today?
Well, we're all living in such this world of chaos and things, but I feel like what the Lord would be saying to us is to get into the Word more. Read our Bible more. This way you can know what it says. This way we won't have to be deceived, because even this year, the 2020 has unveiled deception, where people who were pastors or say refer to themselves as prophets and so on, they were found to be in various type of a situation where and people depended on them. There were a lot of people that was disillusioned, that were deceived, and or even the people who had wrong messages were also deceived. So the best thing that we can do for anybody and for ourselves is to get in the Word of God for yourself. Read the Word for yourself. And then the God said, "My word is spirit and it's life." So when we read the Word, it's harder for us to be deceived. And so read the Word, and that's what I want this thing to begin. That Bible reading campaign, a Bible reading campaign.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
That's good stuff. Well, I want to just say I thank you so much, Marcia, for taking the time to come on today. We'll be back on tonight at 7:00 with some more authors, and then we'll be back for our last day, which is Saturday. We'll start at 10:00 in the morning, and we'll go to about 3:00 in the afternoon on Saturday. But I just really, really appreciate you taking the time to come on today. And what's that one power word you would like to leave our viewers with today?
Mercy, because God is merciful. That's why he would be sending out such a title to his people, and it's all about his mercies, love, and grace. So if we can just understand that the title, when God speaks to us, when he came to the earth, he came with the message of repentance and about the kingdom of God. So he wants us to know about his mercy, his love. It's merciful. It's God is a good God. And we thank him so much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Queen, for sharing this little time with me today. And we'll talk soon, as we always do. Just keep being you, keep being the beautiful spirit that you are, taking care of that family, taking care of our community, selling these houses. So if y'all want any services, just reach out to her. You want to get her book, send an email to repentinfo@gmail.com. Follow her on Facebook. You can find her at Facebook. And I look forward to seeing your posts. And you can also feel free to, like tag me in something, and we'll post it on our page as well. Anything that you have coming up, or if you have some listings that you need us to, send some buyers your way, we definitely want to do that for you as well, Queen. Yes. Okay.
I appreciate that so much.
Well, you're so welcome. I want you to have a fantabulous day. That was my word. I made that up.
A fantabulous day. I will.
Yes. Tabulistic.
Fantabulous.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of word. I know
Yeah.
it is. But that's okay. You can do it.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. This has been a power-packed morning, a power-packed afternoon. And I just want to thank you all for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you tonight at 7:00. Set your alarms, and we will be right back here in the building. This is the I Am Enough talk show, where your dreams matter. And it's me, Wanda D, the Motivational Queen, your accountability coach, helping you get it done. We have gotten done our part 1 of our day 5 of our international book tour and our summertime book tour. If you haven't caught all of it, please feel free to go and visit the I Am Enough 365.com page. That's online. Of course, you can go there, IamEnough365.com, and check out any other episodes. Please follow us on Instagram. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And guess what? I love you. And there's absolutely nothing that you can do about it. I'm going to grab MC Class so he can take us out. And in the meantime, y'all be blessed.
Go through with PTSD also, I'm ex-military. But I learned how to turn it into microphone techniques. So I'm going to freestyle, and then I'm going to tell y'all a little something. Because Wanda D told me to freestyle. Say, I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough. Hard with the drums. I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I come from the boogie down, south side of town. MCs like me, we come incredible. See, I've been spending so much time in my head. Grab the microphone. Did you hear what I just said? I got skills, rocking on the mic. I pay bills all the time. Rapping on the beat with the rhyme. I'm coming off the top of my mind. I do this all the time. This is how I rhyme. I am enough.
I am enough.
King it, I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough. Times right now, totally rough. Every time I'm dealing with this stuff, I grab the microphone and I don't bluff. And when I hold the microphone, I'm like the bluff. Sit back and watch the crowd rock. I grab the microphone non-stop. Blast the microphone is, I got a bonus to grab this mic and do just what I like. Too much hesitation, I had to take the time. Sit back, relax, so I can unwind. Messing with my mind. Now I gotta come out here and show this one time that I could unwind. Say a little stuff that was on my mind. And this is how we do. Are y'all with me? I'm with you too. Say I am enough.
I am enough.
Say I am enough.
I am enough.
Come on, times are tough and you know it's rough. But say I am enough.
I am enough.
Say I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough. I am enough. I'm from the Bronx, baby. Alright.
In the 8s,